Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck.
Day of the Cheltenham Festival on Thursday. Another fantastic day's racing in store. The Ryanair Chase goes off at 4 o'clock. Before that, it's also the Paddy Power Stayers Hurdle. That's all for now. We'll have more later. Latest sports news on Thursday. I'm Aidan Perkins. We'll start with football. It was another disappointing night for the Premier League teams in the Champions League as Manchester City suffered a heavy defeat in the first leg of their last 16 tie against Real Madrid. They lost 3-0. It was a hat-trick from Federico Valverde that gave Real the advantage. It was also a very disappointing night for Chelsea as they were beaten 5-2 by defending champions Paris Saint-Germain in France. So both Chelsea and City have to try and recover a 3-goal deficit in the second leg. Arsenal were held to a 1-1 draw by Bayer Leverkusen, while in the other game, Bodo Glimt continued their impressive and surprising form in the competition this season by beating Sporting 3-0 at home. It follows on from a disappointing night on Tuesday as well for the Premier League teams, as Liverpool lost 1-0 to Galatasaray and Spurs were hammered 5-2 by Atletico Madrid, while Newcastle could only manage a draw against Barcelona. Also on Wednesday night in the Championship, there was another win for Coventry City, the leaders, as they beat Preston by 3-0. They're now 8 points clear at the top of the Championship. But Middlesbrough suffered a disappointing 1-0 home defeat to Charlton as their pursuit of a place in the Premier League was hit by the defeat. Elsewhere in the Championship, Birmingham beat QPR by a goal to nil. Norwich were 2-1 winners over Sheffield United. Oxford recorded a big win at the bottom of the table as they beat fellow strugglers Blackburn 1-0. West Brom and Southampton drew 1-1. In League One, Wimbledon beat Blackpool 4-1 and Port Vale lost 2-0 at home to Bradford City. Thursday night's football action centres on the Europa League and the Conference League in Europe. It's the last 16. Aston Villa go to Lille for their first leg, while Nottingham Forest host Midtjylland. In the Conference League, Crystal Palace are at home to AEK Larnaca. Moving on to tennis, and Jack Draper is into the Indian Wells quarter-finals after a superb 4-6, 6-4, 7-6 win over Novak Djokovic, while Cameron Norrie will face Carlos Alcaraz in the quarter-finals after he beat Rinky Hijikata in straight sets. Sonny Kartal, meanwhile, retired when 6-4, 4-3 behind to Elena Rybakina in her Indian Wells last 16 match. In golf, Rory McIlroy says that he will make a game-time decision on whether he's able to tee off at the Players' Championship. McIlroy has been struggling with a back injury, while John Rahm is one of 4 joint leaders on 4 under par after the first round, after firing a first round 67 at the Live Golf Singapore tournament. In Rugby League, Leeds Rhinos' Maiko Sivo has been named as the Betfred Super League Player of the Month for February. Well, finally, it's the third day of the Cheltenham Festival on Thursday. Another fantastic day's racing in store. The Rhino Chase goes off at 4 o'clock. Before that, it's also the Paddy Power Stayers Hurdle. That's all for now. We'll have more later. Latest sports news on Thursday. I'm Aidan Perkins. Will start with football. It was another disappointing night for the Premier League teams in the Champions League as Manchester City suffered a heavy defeat in the first leg of their last 16 tie against Real Madrid. They lost 3-0. It was a hat-trick from Federico Valverde that gave Real the advantage. Well, it was also a very disappointing night for Chelsea as they were beaten 5-2 by defending champions Paris Saint-Germain in France. So both Chelsea and City have to try and recover a 3-goal deficit in the second leg. Arsenal were held to a 1-1 draw by Bayer Leverkusen, while in the other game Bodo Glimt continued their impressive and surprising form in the competition this season by beating Sporting 3-0 at home. It follows on from a disappointing night on Tuesday as well for the Premier League teams as Liverpool lost 1-0 to Galatasaray and Spurs were hammered 5-2 by Atletico Madrid, while Newcastle could only manage a draw against Barcelona. Also on Wednesday night in the Championship, there was another win for Coventry City, the leaders, as they beat Preston by 3-0. They're now 8 points clear at the top of the Championship. But Middlesbrough suffered a disappointing 1-0 home defeat to Charlton as their pursuit of a place in the Premier League was hit by the defeat. Elsewhere in the Championship, Birmingham beat QPR by a goal to nil. Norwich were 2-1 winners over Sheffield United. Oxford recorded a big win at the bottom of the table as they beat fellow strugglers Blackburn 1-0. West Brom and Southampton drew 1-1. In League One, Wimbledon beat Blackpool 4-1 and Port Vale lost 2-0 at home to Bradford City. Thursday night's football action centres on the Europa League and the Conference League in Europe. It's the last 16. Aston Villa go to Lille for their first leg, while Nottingham Forest host Midtjylland. In the Conference League, Crystal Palace are at home to AEK Larnaca. Moving on to tennis, and Jack Draper is into the Indian Wells quarter-finals after a superb 4-6, 6-4, 7-6 win over Novak Djokovic, while Cameron Norrie will face Carlos Alcaraz in the quarter-finals after he beat Rinky Hijikata in straight sets. Sonny Kartal, meanwhile, retired when 6-4, 4-3 behind to Elena Rybakina in her Indian Wells last 16 match. In golf, Rory McIlroy says that he will make a game-time decision on whether he's able to tee off at the Players' Championship. McIlroy has been struggling with a back injury, while John Rahm is one of 4 joint leaders on 4 under par after the first round, after firing a first round 67 at the Live Golf Singapore tournament. In Rugby League, Leeds Rhinos' Maiko Sivo has been named as the Betfred Super League Player of the Month for February. Well, finally, it's the third day of the Cheltenham Festival on Thursday. Another fantastic day's racing in store. The Ryanair Chase goes off at 4 o'clock. Before that, it's also the Paddy Power Stayers Hurdle. That's all for now. We'll have more later. Latest sports news on Thursday. I'm Aidan Perkins. We'll start with football. It was another disappointing night for the Premier League teams in the Champions League, as Manchester City suffered a heavy defeat in the first leg of their last 16 tie against Real Madrid. They lost 3-0. It was a hat-trick from Federico Valverde that gave Real the advantage. Well, it was also a very disappointing night for Chelsea, as they were beaten 5-2 by defending champions Paris Saint-Germain in France. So both Chelsea and City have to try and recover a 3-goal deficit in the second leg. Arsenal were held to a 1-1 draw by Bayer Leverkusen, while in the other game, Bodo Glimt continued their impressive and surprising form in the competition this season by beating Sporting 3-0 at home. It follows on from a disappointing night on Tuesday as well for the Premier League teams, as Liverpool lost 1-0 to Galatasaray and Spurs were hammered 5-2 by Atletico Madrid, while Newcastle could only manage a draw against Barcelona. Also on Wednesday night in the Championship, there was another win for Coventry City, the leaders, as they beat Preston by 3-0. They're now 8 points clear at the top of the Championship. But Middlesbrough suffered a disappointing 1-0 home defeat to Charlton, as their pursuit of a place in the Premier League was hit by the defeat. Elsewhere in the Championship, Birmingham beat QPR by 1-0. Norwich were 2-1 winners over Sheffield United. Oxford recorded a big win at the bottom of the table as they beat fellow strugglers Blackburn 1-0. West Brom and Southampton drew 1-1. In League One, Wimbledon beat Blackpool 4-1 and Port Vale lost 2-0 at home to Bradford City. Thursday night's football action centres on the Europa League and the Conference League in Europe. It's the last 16. Aston Villa go to Lille for their first leg, while Nottingham Forest host Midtjylland. In the Conference League, Crystal Palace are at home to AEK Larnaca. Moving on to tennis, and Jack Draper is into the Indian Wells quarter-finals after a superb 4-6, 6-4, 7-6 win over Novak Djokovic, while Cameron Norrie will face Carlos Alcaraz in the quarter-finals after he beat Rinky Hijikata in straight sets. Sonny Cartal, meanwhile, retired when 6-4, 4-3 behind to Alina Raducanu in her Indian Wells last 16 match. In golf, Rory McIlroy says that he will make a game-time decision on whether he's able to tee off at the Players' Championship. McIlroy has been struggling with a back injury, while Jon Rahm is one of 4 joint leaders on 4 under par after the first round, after firing a first round 67 at the Live Golf Singapore tournament. In Rugby League, Leeds Rhinos' Maiko Sivo has been named as the Betfred Super League Player of the Month for February. Well, finally, it's the third day of the Cheltenham Festival on Thursday. Another fantastic day's racing in store. The Ryanair Chase goes off at 4 o'clock. Before that, it's also the Paddy Power Stayers Hurdle. That's all for now. We'll have more later.
As Nottingham Forest host FC Midtjylland. And it's a warm welcome along to this off-tube independent studio-based commentary and our coverage of this round of 16 clash. Nottingham Forest versus FC Midtjylland at the City Ground. The game is just seconds from getting underway. It looks like a real lively atmosphere this evening. It's myself, Tom Wilson, joined by Kieran Graham for this one. Of course, these two sides meeting for the second time this season. Midtjylland beat Forest in the league phase of this competition at the City Ground already earlier in this season. That was in October. Plenty has changed since then for Nottingham Forest, both in terms of the results that they've had, their managers, of course, as well. They're on to their 4th manager of the season. Vitor Pereira still looking for his first win as Forest boss. Winless in his first 3. Winless in the Premier League, by the way, in 13. Now, this is not the Premier League. This is the Europa League. They've made 3 changes from a 2-2 draw against Manchester City last time out. Malenkovic, Sangare and Williams replaced by Hudson-Odoi, Hutchinson and Morato. They lead the line with Igor Jesus, Morgan Gibbs-White in midfield. Dominguez and Anderson joining him. A back 4 of Murillo, Morato, Cunha and Anya, and Sells in goal. Their opponents, FC Midtjylland, made it to the Danish Cup final in their previous game from that semi-final. They've made 2 changes. Lee Han Byom and Osorio have been replaced. Castillo and Diao come in to replace them. It's early attack here for Forest. Striding through midfield is Amari Hutchinson over halfway, supported by the captain Gibbs White. And then backwards from Hudson-Odoi into the possession of Elliot Anderson. The 11 for Midtjylland is Olafsson in goal. João, Ehrlich, Sorensen and Jensen at the back. Castillo, Bravo and Billing in midfield. And Mbabu and Simasir supporting Brumado up top. And Mbabu might be a little bit further back. It potentially is going to be a 5. We'll wait and see how things progress in that sense for FC Midtjylland. As I said, it's myself, Tom Wilson, joined by Kieran Graham for this one. An exciting game in its own context, Kieran, but the fact that Midtjylland have already beaten Forest this season gives it a little bit more, doesn't it? A little bit more of a storyline.
Yeah, it really does. You've just seen that away end. It's it's a smaller away end than what we usually see. Mbappé just cannoned it off his teammate's own face. Instantly says sorry for that because it was out of play, out of possession as well. But fingers crossed we get a really good game. It'd be interesting to see how Midtjylland fare without their main source for goals, Frank Alina, out with a knee injury today. So that's a benefit and a plus for Nottingham Forest. That is for sure. I guess the real look is, what is the formation for Forest today? I thought it might have been a 3. Tom thought it might have been a 4. Looks like a 3 on first viewing to me, but it certainly could change. Yeah,
we'll wait and see. Likewise for FC Midtjylland, it looks at the moment as if Castillo is further forward from midfield, supporting Brumado with Simasir the other side, and Mbabu maybe as a right wing back. 2 minutes in, Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. You're listening to Off Tube Independent Studio Based Commentary. Gibbs White just went down there whilst we were talking through that latest action and seems to be hobbling ever so slightly as a result. Hopefully, from a Forest perspective, he's able to carry on. It was a strong coming together with Pedro Bravo that left him in a heap. The captain this evening, 10 goals and 5 assists in all competitions. Other than Igor Jesus, he's the only player that scored more than 10 goals in all competition. Igor Jesus, of course, is on 12 now in all comps. He's the joint top goal scorer coming into this round of fixtures in the entire Europa League. They'll need his goals this evening, you would feel, if they're able to progress. But here's Billing for FC Midtjylland. Lovely touch to get right around his marker. Ball in towards the back stick. Oh, how's that not gone in? It's cleared away from Murillo. It might not have even been going in from the header. It's a gilt-edge opportunity early on from FC Midtjylland, not taken. They're still in possession on that left-hand side. Forward they come once more with Jensen. Ball down the line, headed into the air by Cunha. And out of play for a corner kick. But how is it not 1-0?
What a chance. What a chance for Junior Brumado. It was brilliant work on the right-hand side from Philip Billing. What a touch to get around his man. Keeps it in play. And Brumado just... it's such a poor header from him, isn't he? He has to do so much better. The Brazilian, it's almost like he jumps, falls off balance a little bit. I think he's claiming a bit of a nudge. There's no nudge. The nudge comes after he heads it. It is a terrible header from him. 5 goals in the league this season, but I'm not really too sure how he's made such a mess of it. 5 goals in the Europa League as well this season, so it's a competition he's enjoyed playing in. I don't know how he's messed that up so much. It should be 1-0.
Yeah, it's brilliant from Billing, the former Huddersfield and Bournemouth man, in the build-up. Dinks the ball in towards the back stick. Such a versatile player, Philip Billing. We saw that during his lengthy spell in England, and since then he's moved on. He's played for Napoli, now at FC Midtjylland. Strong challenge comes in from Mbabu there, the Swiss international. And he's had a couple of bites at Callum Hudson-Odoi already.
Yeah, he has, and Mbabu just went straight through him. He leaves Callum Hudson-Odoi rolling off the pitch in a little bit of a heap, formerly of Newcastle. Mbabu, of course, never really got much of a chance there in his younger stages of his career, but Hudson-Odoi's just back to his feet, limping around now. Of course, Nottingham Forest, no, this is their home leg, of course. Got to really go for this, try and get some real advantage in this going into next week's trip to Denmark. But a free kick for Nottingham Forest here.
5 minutes into the game, Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. It's been a windy day across the UK this evening. You can see that continues as the ball's down the left-hand side at the feet of Hudson-Odoi into the area, nodded away towards Gibbs White on the edge, who hits one, finds Jesus as a pass in the end. Dominguez Jesus back for Anderson. Anderson on the edge of the area, has a run at his man, pokes it out towards Hudson-Odoi on the left-hand side. He squares in Babu up, goes backwards to Dominguez. Possession being kept well by Forest, but they have just been poked away from goal and kept at arm's length by the Danish side, who have now won back possession, albeit temporarily, as Hudson-Odoi retrieves it once more. Hudson-Odoi down the left, supported by Anderson. Anderson has a look inside the area, doesn't see any movement, goes back to Gibbs-White. Over the top for Anderson once more, tight angle, flicked away. And Babu's on the end of it, on the right-hand side. As I say, it is a windy city ground this evening. You can see that the shirts and the shorts are fluttering in the wind. Whether that'll have an effect on the play, we'll wait and see, as Forest keep possession quite well, albeit that chance to put the ball inside the area has now dissipated. That's brilliant from Anderson through the legs of his man onto the edge of the area. Just takes too long though, his pocket's picked, and this is where Midtjylland can cause problems on the break. It's Junior Brumado who'll be looking to make up for that earlier missed opportunity. Tries to make something work down the right. Great challenge from Morato. Forest have won it back. It's been a chaotic start to the game. 6.5 minutes in, Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0.
Yeah, it has been chaotic, a little bit end to end. There's been a couple of challenges finding very similar to what we just watched at 5:45. Actually, in a sense, we just watched Bologna against Roma. It took a little while for it to get feisty. This one's gone a bit quicker. Now it's Jacques Cunha who's stayed down. He's claiming a little bit of an elbow to the face from Brumado. Actually, no, he's not. He's gone down out of possession. Now, this is a worry. The young centre-half has only just started playing, which the Nottingham Forest fans are really happy about. They're really impressed with him. They're quite surprised that it's taken this long for him to start getting opportunities. I think he just catches his studs in the turf. Real worry. He's going to end up having to come off straight away for Milenkovic, who, by the way, is not a bad replacement at all, but Jacques Cunha, the Forest fans were really starting to enjoy. Yeah,
they were indeed, but the Brazilian may have to make way. He's one of 4 Brazilians in the side this evening. Cunha, Morato, Murillo and Igor Jesus. But Jai Cunha, luckily he's back to his feet, but he's hobbling. He does not look too comfortable whatsoever. Just 7.5 minutes in. This is a real blow for Nottingham Forest. Jai Cunha is going to be replaced, and Milenkovic will come on. He was one of 3 changes, as I mentioned, from that 2-2 draw against Manchester City. A squad which is already depleted. Kieran, Awonyi is inactive. He's not registered, I don't think, for the Europa League. Bolly's out with a knee injury. We've got De Silva Moreira, who's inactive. Jean Victor's out with a knee injury. Ndoi's injured. Nets is not active. Ortega's injured. Salona's injured. And Chris Wood is injured. The list goes on and on and on and on. And now they're going to add another to that list.
Yeah, I think Jacques Cunha may be a little bit more important than a couple of them. Of them names, I think only really Ndoi, Savona and Chris Wood are really big misses. I mean, the likes of Willy Bolly, De Silva, Moreira, you'd never see them anyway. I'm not sure if Ortega would play if Sells was available. I know Ortega was playing a couple of games, which really good signing as well. Ortega for £500,000. You don't see that very often. Feels like we've not seen Chris Wood for an age in a Nottingham Forest shirt.
Switch of play from Midtjylland as play gets back underway. It's a great touch on that left-hand side. Just keeps it alive as Hutchinson comes across to try and deal with it. Hutchinson's got his man trying to win the ball back one-on-one. Good work, though, from Simerser, who's still in possession somehow. He's dancing around a couple of players, tries to win a corner, doesn't quite work out. Aina wins it back. Hutchinson then forward. They've given possession away. Simerser leaves it because he's offside. It's out for a goal kick. Great feet from Aral Simerser, the Turkish attacking player. On comes Milenkovic then for Nottingham Forest, so they're back up to their full contingent. Nottingham Forest still goalless 9 minutes in. You're listening to Off-Tube Independent Studio-based commentary, and as happy as the fans inside the City Ground will be to see Milenkovic, they wouldn't have wanted to be in that sort of situation. Forest coming into this round of 16 tie, of course, finished 13th in the league phase, 2 points off the automatic qualification places. They won 4, drew 2, lost 2. A 1-0 defeat against Braga and a 3-2 loss against FC Midtjylland at the City Ground, as we've already mentioned. Then, of course, Forest had to overcome Fenerbahce in the 2 legs to progress to this stage. And they were 3-0 victors in the away fixture, the first leg. And it was nervy times at the City Ground when Fenerbahce went 2-0 up in the second leg, but Forest were able to hang on 4-2 on aggregate. It was and they progressed through. FC Midtjylland, on the other hand, you might be forgiven for forgetting that they actually had to qualify for the competition. Had to come through 3 qualification stages. Here goes Gibbs White down the left-hand side for Forest. Lovely burst of pace from him, supported by Hutchinson, who he plays the ball to now. Tries to reverse it back to Gibbs White. Flicked away in the end by Billing, but that was dynamic from Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, it was. Once again, looking pretty dangerous in terms of on the break. As we saw the ball to the left-hand side, Monk Gibbs White, great first touch to get away from his man. He checks back. In the end, slows it down a bit too much. Hutchinson then looked across the first goal, but a nice break down the left.
Forest back in possession. 11 minutes in, still goalless. Sells has it on the edge of his area. Touches it into the feet of Dominguez. He's seen little of the ball so far. Goes back to Sells, the Belgian goalkeeper. Goes long under some pressure. Over halfway looking for Aina. Headed away. Milenkovic has his first touch as he finds Aina with the forward pass. He tries to switch play. Gets a bit fortunate as it deflects back into his path. Then he's collided with. That'll be a free kick. It's Pedro Bravo with the foul. 12 minutes in. Forest 0. FC Midtjylland 0. As I was saying, they had to come through 3 rounds of qualification in this competition. The Danish side, they beat Hibs of Scotland, Fredrikstad of Norway and Kups of Finland. Then finished 3rd in the league phase. It was a real surprise. 2 points off the top spot, which was occupied by Lyon. 6 wins, 1 draw, 1 defeat. Their only loss against Roma in November. They drew 1-1 away at Bologna in the 5:45 p.m. kickoff. Here's Dominguez, handball by him, according to Rade Obrenovic, the Slovenian official this evening. Forest certainly been the better team, I think you would say, after 12 minutes in terms of their ability to keep the ball and keep possession and drive forward, Kieran, but the biggest chance still for FC Midtjylland.
Yeah, exactly. What a chance it was. They should have taken the lead through the number 74, Junior Brumado. But yeah, Forest, they've settled a little bit. It's a little bit more chaotic, playing a bit more of a different formation today as well. That'll take some getting used to. Olafsson ready to take the free kick.
He certainly will. Again, the wind continuing on in a blustery night at the City ground. Ball forward over halfway. Billing, a little bit of a push in the back there. Referee's happy with it. Then he's fouled. And again, the referee says play on. Brumado takes over. Tries to poke it through the lines to Castillo. But the goalkeeper, Matt Sells, quickly and smartly off his line to come and collect it. That will be safely in the hands of the Belgian. Murillo it was, who felt a little bit of a push in the back there from Billing, but referee didn't see anything untoward. Sells over halfway. Aina's up there as the furthest forward. Doesn't win his header. Ball bobbles around inside the centre circle. Eventually falls for Murillo at the back. I was adamant it was going to be a back four for Forest. I did their reverse fixture against Fenerbahce where they lined up with, I'm pretty sure it was the same back four. Murillo was slotted in at left back. He got a little bit found out in that first half, to be quite honest. Here's Hutchinson on that right hand side, supported by Aina. Aina goes backwards about midway through opposition territory. Here's Anderson to Hutchinson, bounces off him, won back by Billing. He shrugs off the challenge of Anderson, who's battling for it, and he's done really well there, the former Newcastle midfielder, to win back possession. And it's all Forest at the moment. Murillo across to Morato, back to his Brazilian teammate and central defensive partner. Poor pass there from Murillo, easily intercepted, and there could be a gaping hole at the back here if FC Midtjylland can take advantage. They can't. They've given away possession. Igor Jesus, that's a poor touch from him. A real lack of quality from both sides at the minute as Billing sweeps it out towards Mbabu on the right hand side. Kieran mentioned he was once a Newcastle player. He also had a short spell at Fulham. As Billing goes back towards the goalkeeper. Quarter of an hour gone. Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. As the visitors have it inside opposition territory. Over halfway. Back to back Jensen. He goes to Olafsson, the Icelandic goalkeeper. Clearance from him under pressure. Towards halfway. Header won by Milenkovic. Billing on the second. Picked up though by Anderson. Anderson tries to sweep it through to Gibbs White. Decent first touch. Just showed too much of it though to Ehrlich. And the ball's able to be won back by FC Midtjylland. No real lengthy spells of possession from either side. They're both giving it away with ease.
Yeah, they are. Is Mbabu back in possession? I mean, it's just been a little bit scrappy. It's not been a great start to the game. It's not been that easy on the eye so far, which I think suits Midtjylland more, being the away side. Just try and keep that score as respectable as possible for that next leg. And I mean, they've had the chance, they've had the opportunity to have the lead in this one. So I think Philip Billings looked pretty good so far for Midtjylland at the heart of midfield. Nottingham Forest yet to really get any consistency going.
Yeah, they've been brilliant at home this season, FC Midtjylland in the competition. They won 4 of 4 in the league phase, but only won 2 away from, I say only won 2, it's still a very good record, but the points that they did drop in the league phase, they won 2, drew 1, lost 1 away from home. It was the 8th best form in the league phase away from their home grounds. 16 minutes in, Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. As Dominguez has it, goes backwards to Murillo, across to Anderson, who's just dropped in between the centre halves. His ball forward towards Gibbs White doesn't quite meet its target. And then FC Midtjylland failed to keep possession. It's won back as Hutchinson pokes it into the channel for Aina. He's been playing really high up the pitch so far for Nottingham Forest. Now Hutchinson into the final third for Aina, back to Anderson. Anderson to Hutchinson. Hutchinson to Aina. Keeping possession well, but not really going anywhere with it at the minute, Nottingham Forest, as they go back towards halfway from Alenkovic. Across to Murillo in the centre circle. A slightly more cagey defensive structure from FC Midtjylland at the minute, and Forest are finding it difficult to break through. In fact, they haven't. They've given possession away. That's a lovely turn on the ball there from Simser, who plays it across towards this near right-hand side. He was looking for the run of Brumado, but it's broken down. Forest will have back possession, but they have struggled to get in behind.
Yeah, they have. As you now see, Dominguez in possession. I think both sides are struggling to really get their attacking players involved. Getting in behind, Olorena is so advanced. It's probably the most advanced we've seen him in a long time for Nottingham Forest. It's almost like he's a right winger in certain moments, and Hutchinson's dropping pretty narrow. Obviously something new that Nottingham Forest have been working on, but I mean, you see the positioning now. Olorena is quite literally stood as a right winger.
Just the 1 goal in the 8 games that kicked off at 8 p.m. across the Europa League and the Conference League. It's come in the latter. Selye behind against AEK, who went in front after just 3 minutes. Of course, another English side in action this evening. Crystal Palace hosting AEK Larnaca. Well, like Nottingham Forest, they lost against their opponents in the league phase. So both Forest and Palace will be looking to make up for that little blip on their record. FC Midtjylland coming forward though. Brumado forward to Billing down the right hand side. He's got a couple in support, but will be difficult to pick any of them out at the moment. Cuts away from the challenge of Morato, supported by Brumado. To Billing out towards the right hand side for Mbabu. He has a look inside the area, loops the ball towards the penalty box. It's just over the bar in the end. I just held my breath there because I thought the goalkeeper Matt Sells had been beaten. Luckily for him, though, it also beat the crossbar.
Yeah, it did. Just evading him. Matt Sells scrambling a little bit in that scenario. I've covered, I feel like all I've been doing recently is covering Nottingham Forest. I covered Vitor Pereira's first game in charge, where they wiped the floor away at Fenerbahce, absolutely battered them, and thought maybe Nottingham Forest have finally got it right. Since then, I think I may have covered every single one of their games, and they've been really poor in every single one of them. I can't say I've been that impressed with them in this opening 19 minutes, which, I mean, I'm sure you'll probably echo those thoughts, Tom, as well. Just can't get going. There's just no control, is there, which is quite the surprise. You've got a player like Elliot Anderson at your disposal. He's not getting on the ball anywhere near enough as to what we're used to seeing. I think their best midfield is really when Sangare partners him. I know it's Europe, you're going to make some changes because ultimately, as much as this is a massive competition, for Nottingham Forest, they have to stay in the Premier League, don't they, as well? So some players may be getting rested as well. Wouldn't surprise me if you see the likes of Sangare and Nico Williams a little bit later on, but just can't get it going so far.
Matt Sells forced off his line there to clear under pressure from Junior Brumado. He's a big boy, isn't he? The Brazilian, he's a real handful. Here's Hutchinson, though, for Forest. Has a look forward for Gibbs White. Can't find him. Still going. Hutchinson hits one. Brilliant save. Wow. He had absolutely no backlift on that whatsoever, Amari Hutchinson. It was such an unexpected strike, nearly caught the goalkeeper off guard.
Yeah, he took it pretty early in that sense that it looked like he was just going to keep dribbling into that space, into the area, but he tries to hook it across the goalkeeper. It's a bit central in the end. Doesn't get enough hook around it. The former Ipswich man, it's still a decent strike though. That's nestling into the top corner if it goes, because it was just curling away, but as it meets the goalkeeper, so decent. I said decent height. He has to extend to meet it, but tips it over the bar. A good moment for Amari Hutchinson. His Forest career has been a little bit up and down this season, like it was really with Ipswich in the Premier League, but now just awaiting this corner to be taken.
Corner comes in, headed into the air by Billing, took a touch off Gibbs White. He'll go out for a goal kick. 20 minutes gone. Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. You're listening to Off Tube Independent Studio Based commentary as Vitor Pereira looks on, arms folded, seemingly not too dissatisfied with his side start. They have had the lion's share of possession, 62% up until this point. The only shot on target from them as well, coming just seconds ago to force that corner ball out towards the right hand side to Usman Diaw. He's a really poor one from Olafsson. It's out of play and straight back into the possession of Forest via a throw in. Hudson-Odoi back to halfway for Anderson. Anderson saw something over the top and finds Dominguez. He's got his back to goal and a couple of defenders to beat. Can't beat those defenders either, as it's won back by Diaw. Forward to Mbabu. Billing. And then forward from Beck Sorensen. Up towards Bramado. He's held up the ball really well. Just no support from teammates. Referee's blowing his whistle anyway. That'll be a free kick. But I briefly mentioned it there a few seconds ago, but Junior Bramado, he's a real handful. It's going to be difficult for, well, take your pick from those Forest defenders to try and win the ball.
Yeah, exactly. And I think at certain times we've seen a few players be a handful. I think Bramado has looked a bit of a handful at times. He looks quite physical, doesn't he, even though he lost his balance. But he's just getting in front of the Nottingham Forest defenders so far, but not really creating anything. Sims here on the far side hasn't been great, has he? For Midtjylland, nothing's really stuck to him when it's gone to him. They can't really get him involved on the left. The Nottingham Forest fans watching on will be just wanting their side to improve as well. But I think there's been probably a good 22 minutes for the away side.
Well, 3 defeats in a row following that victory against Fenerbahce that Kieran mentioned. Followed that up with a 2-2 draw against Manchester City, in which they more than held their own. I mean, City weren't really on it in that game, but a 2-2 draw is a very good result. They would have come into this game with a little bit of confidence, albeit with the context that they've suffered a defeat against the Danish side already this season. Made 3 changes, still a very strong 11 though. You got Jesus, Gibbs White, Hudson-Odoi, Amari Hutchinson, Anderson, Dominguez. Those are all names, as well as Murillo and Aina and Sells, that you would say are, you know, some of their strongest players in those positions. You're looking at Cunha, I think, and Morato. There's maybe 2 that you probably wouldn't have the first name on the team sheet in that position if you had a full strength squad. As the ball come forward for FC Midtjylland. I think Bramado's just in an offside position there. He's come from one to receive that ball, so that will be a free kick. We are 23 minutes into the game, still waiting for the first goal in this one. It remains Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. It's still a very intriguing, exciting affair. I'll hand over to Game to take you through to half time.
Yeah, thank you very much, Tom. As we now see Matt Sells in possession, slow opening 23.5 minutes. Hopefully it can pick up a little bit, as we see a header well won in the end by the midfielder Castillo. It's going to go in behind for Castillo again, carries it forwards. It's Diaw now in possession. He's got some real height to him, doesn't he, the centre half, Diaw. As we now see Olafsson goes all the way across to Erlich and Babu under a bit of pressure from Hudson-Odoi. I'm not sure if I think that the 3 at the back's really been that effective in a positive way yet so far. That's much better from Elliot Anderson. He steps in, he's gone down holding his face. I think sometimes as a midfielder, the referee's just taken a stop. We've seen it quite a lot of times in the Premier League when Billing was there. He's that long, isn't he, that sometimes he can just protect himself, catch the face of a few players. I mean, he's wearing gloves, can't have been that painful for Anderson, but he did go down. He's shaking his head. The Midtjylland coach isn't happy about something, but I don't think there was anything that malicious in it. It's just he's a tall player.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was something of nothing, wasn't it? I was covering the game the other day. I can't quite remember which player it was, but it was someone in the game between Middlesbrough and Charlton last night, and it was one of those where a player's running with the ball and they sort of shift their balance to try and keep possession, and in doing so they hit their player in the face. And this is one of them, and it's not a foul, and players make so much of it, and referees give free kicks for it, and it's just simply not a free kick. It's just a mistake, it's just an accident. Interestingly there, Vitor Pereira and Mike Tulberg, the two managers, getting at each other already.
Yeah, I don't mind it. The Midtjylland head coach was berating the fourth official. Vitor Pereira quite angrily was walking over, waving his arm, telling him almost to maybe just to get away from him, but less polite. We now see Beck Sorensen, the former Brentford man, of course, a man who will know what it's like to play in England. Long ball up towards Bernardo, but he can't keep a hold of it. And it goes all the way through to Matt Sells. Just see the Midtjylland fans, there's a real low attendance of them. I'm not sure if that's Nottingham Forest have done that on purpose, or maybe they'd not sold their tickets, but there's just a little corner of them going mental in there. There probably isn't even 1,000 of them in that far corner, as we see the ball ricochet out for a throw-in. The Midtjylland bench watch on. Of course, they've all got the iPads at their disposal now to watch things back. Probably stick it on a 20-second delay. As we now see Murillo ready to take this goal kick, and he's going to absolutely hammer it long. We were maybe debating whether it was going to be a 3 at the back or a 4 at the back in this one. It's definitely set out to be a 3, hasn't it? As Olorena picks it up, he's playing the more fascinating role. Almost been playing as a right winger so far. Ball out to the right hand side for Amari Hutchinson though, and Olorena's ahead of him. He looks for Olorena, well cleared away, smashed away as well up towards Milenkovic. Now it's going to be brought down, and Milenkovic is in possession once more across towards Murillo, who's at the heart of the back 3. That's another one that's quite interesting. You think he's so comfortable in wider areas, isn't he, and carrying the ball, but he's the middle of the back 3 so far. He plays the ball in behind, looking towards Elliot Anderson, who's battling with his fellow number 8, Philip Billing again. A decent battle to watch on.
Yeah, it's an interesting one that you mentioned that. Well, here we go.
And there's a ball in behind for Bernardo, who's in behind once again. Terrible touch. I think the flag may have just gone up in the end against Bernardo, but driving forwards, just Route 1 stuff. But yeah, it's been a great battle between Elliot Anderson and Billing. Yeah,
they were both offside, weren't they, for FC Midtjylland? No danger. Morato knew it as well, just no flag and no whistle. But yeah, it's an interesting one. You mentioned the formation that for Nottingham Forest, and that the key differences to what they usually play this season. Here's Aina for Forest, actually, so I'll break off.
Yes, we now see Milenkovic bombing forwards. I mean, this has been completely random, hasn't it? This setup from Nottingham Forest. Everybody everywhere, as we see Gibbs, right, really poor touch. Has he done enough to win a corner there? No, he hasn't. I thought that could have been a corner on live viewing. Hasn't been given in the end. Gibbs White shakes his head. He's not too happy with the referee's decision. Hopefully we can see it back in the moment. Well, the centre-half, Zhao's not happy with the referee. He's just made the elbow in motion. I'm not really too sure who it's aimed towards, but he said that he's being elbowed as he walks away. I'm not sure if it's Olorena when he jumped up for the aerial battle a moment ago. I never thought on live viewing that we'd seen an elbow fly around. Well, we'd not seen the corner, or potential corner back, and we've not seen the challenge from Olorena back either. You see a ball, Zhao takes a terrible touch, doesn't he? And after the crowd will have probably just been getting on his back because he made the elbow in sign. To then do a touch like that, they're probably going to target him for it.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Ken, there's a little bit more bite about the game. I think the two managers have helped in that sense as well by shouting at each other. And we don't have the benefit of audio inside the City Ground this evening, but I'm sure they were roused by that manager showing some passion. And that might just bleed into the players. And as you say, Zhao making a gesture that he's been fouled. The home fans won't have liked that. They'll have got even more up for it. And that can either make or break a player, can't it? You can either rise to that challenge and rise to that occasion, or you can allow it to let you crumble. And we'll see exactly what the FC Midtjylland players do in that scenario. But yeah, just very quickly, Billing on Anderson. It looks like he's been asked to just go out there and man mark him potentially, because he's just following him around everywhere for the most part.
Here's going to see a ball in behind. It falls towards Dominguez. He wins his header. Now it's going to be Beck Sorensen to play it long. Well, brought down by Brumado. And Billing with the ball in behind. It's a great ball. I'm not sure if Castillo was onside, but he leaves it for Mbabu. It's back to Castillo. Terrible touch for him. I thought he could have left it for Mbabu rather than passing it to him. It was a nice ball out in the end from Billing again, who's been so influential at times. That's a terrible touch from Zhao again. Hutchinson steps in. He takes it off the toes of the Midtjylland centre-half. Hutchinson driving forward. Billing tracking back. Gets a toe in. Hutchinson's still going. Whips a nice ball across the first goal. Cleared away by Ehrlich and out for a corner kick, but drama at both ends.
Yeah, they get the corner in the end there, Midtjylland, but it's great work from Billing. I mean, I'm talking him up on almost every single occasion, but just look how hard he's working. Strides back over halfway, runs about 30-40 yards to put pressure on Hutchinson. He just wriggles away from him. I think Billing needs more from Zhao there. They need to double him up properly. And luckily for FC Midtjylland, there's another man inside the box to clear it away for the corner.
Here's Hutchinson over this corner kick. He's ready to take it. 30 minutes in. Still 0-0 between these two sides. Milenkovic and Morata. They've got some real giants in there, don't they? Do Nottingham Forest if they can pick them out. Hutchinson, it's a really wicked delivery. Well headed away by Beck Sorensen in the end. No one attacking it. I don't mind that cross at all. He fizzes it in with real accuracy and pace towards the centre of the area. It had that much pace that all it takes is that one positive touch, and it's real tricky for the goalkeeper to deal with, but it's well headed away. Now Gibbs White takes a heavy touch under a bit of pressure from Zhao, who follows him the whole way. Now it's Castillo applying pressure on Hudson-Odoi, but he finds Hutchinson. It sounds like a lot of them are just giving free roaming roles at the moment in this system. Gibbs White's popped up everywhere. Hutchinson in, or even Milenkovic since coming on. Here's Anderson. Great ball across the face of goal. Evades everybody and goes out towards the right-hand side, and it's going to be kept in by Sim Sia, but it's a dangerous ball in from Anderson.
Yeah, it was really good work. He's so dynamic. I mean, I've praised Philip Billing, but his opposite number, Elliot Anderson, is brilliant. He's up and down. He can defend, he can attack, he can spray balls, he can break the play. He's exceptional, Elliot Anderson. If they are to stay up this season, Nottingham Forest in the Premier League, he's going to be vital to that.
Yeah, he will. Absolutely vital for it as we see the ball with Zhao once more. Zhao's going to go all the way across to his goalkeeper, Olafsson. Under a bit of pressure, he plays a really risky ball to Ehrlich. He takes it in his stride. Good footed from Igor Jesus, and it's a perfect challenge from him as well. And he comes away with it, plays the ball forwards, looking for Gibbs White. It's intercepted. Jesus is then going to hit it from distance, and it trickles wide for a goal kick. I'm not sure if it took a touch. I think you think it took a touch, should I say? But great work in the build-up. I think he just took too long to play the pass.
Yeah, I thought he did take a deflection, but the referee's got a better view than me, Kieran. So I'll trust him. Maybe it was just a skid off the surface. Yeah, just a bounce off the ground. But yeah, again, really dynamic from Forest. Really good energy. They're lively. They're getting the ball into the final third. As you say, it's just that final pass or that final effort that's letting them down.
Yeah, it is so far. That final pass just letting the side down at the moment as we now see the ball going behind. That is a heavy challenge from Morata. Could be in a little bit of trouble in this one. He's got a yellow card for the time being. And he's always been a bit of a clumsy centre-half when I've seen him at Nottingham Forest. Seen it back again. Castillo got there first, just touched it round him. He's not high in the end. I thought on live viewing he could have been a little bit higher with his challenge, but I mean, it is not a nice one.
Yeah, he's one of them, Kieran. You mentioned, we talked before about sort of Forest's best 11 and the injuries and the rotation this evening. He doesn't start as a centre-half, does he, if you've got everyone fit? Murillo and Milenkovic are the two best centre-halves. Aina and Williams, the full-backs. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Morata, and that's a really poor challenge.
Yeah, as we now see this free kick ready to be taken now. It's going to be with Back, ready to whip it in towards the area. He's actually going to dummy it and leave it for Simsey. He whips it in. Really dangerous delivery across everybody. What a ball in that is. And if you're Simsey, you're just frustrated, aren't you, with your teammates, because what a ball in that is. I mean, it bounces in the perfect area to really cause problems. Nobody's got a touch. They've all the Nottingham Forest players have swung a leg at it. They've all missed. What a chance.
Yeah, there's just no endeavour to get on the end of it whatsoever, is there? They're just not fighting for it. Plenty of passion from Mike Dulberg, the manager for FC Midtjylland, but they need some more of that on the pitch, because if anyone's throwing their body on the line, any touch, I think it's going to cause problems. It's probably going to be a goal. They've had one big opportunity with the header from Brumado, and you can't quite call this a chance because there's no shot at the end of it, but it's a really dangerous ball in.
Yeah, it's certainly an avenue for an opportunity, you could say. I think we've definitely seen I think Midtjylland are playing pretty well. We've seen their lack of Francolinho at the moment. Like we said, he's their main source for goals. Missing today. You feel like if he was buzzing in and around that penalty area, they could have had one by now. That is for sure. Beck Sorensen's going to take this long throw. Brentford have always occupied long throws for a long, long time under Thomas Frank, and when he was in charge, and Beck Sorensen will have definitely learned that from his time at Brentford, but he's fooled us all. He got short in the end, even though they all lined up for the long throw. Now it's going to be Billing, hangs it up into the area. That's a ball whipped in from one of his teammates. Billing was attacking the cross, and that's going to go into the middle of the park. Handball from Gibbs White. It's Bravo who put it into the area initially. Billing steps over it, fakes Olarena. He thinks he was going to take it quickly. 35 minutes on the clock. Just yet to see that consistent quality.
Yeah, absolutely. I think both sides are guilty of that as well, Kieran. Up until this point, I think Forest have had more possession, but they don't really look too dangerous. They're moving it nicely, as are Midtjylland here.
Yeah, and his Billing plays a poor ball. It's almost like he just can't tell that Olarena was there. Olarena picks a lovely ball for Hutchinson. Nice step overs for him. Plays it to the left-hand side. Now it's Gibbs White driving forwards in towards the penalty area. Just slows it down again like he did earlier. Plays the ball to the right-hand side. Olarena, couple touches, hits it from distance. Decent strike. Olafsson spills. There's Igor Jesus. He falls as he goes for the rebound. I think one of the defenders does just enough to put his arm across him. Well, Olafsson will breathe a huge sigh of relief. It's a decent strike from Olarena. Actually, it takes a deflection, but he still flaps it. It puts it back into a danger area. Igor Jesus gets there. I think Beck Sorensen does just enough to make his presence known. Jesus is falling off balance and misses a great chance.
Yeah, it's a decent effort from Aina, and as you say, it takes a deflection. Without that, would the goalkeeper have saved it? I'm not too sure. He does flap at it, he does push it away. It's not overly convincing goalkeeping from Elias Olafsson, but many a goalkeeper will probably tell you that as long as they keep the ball out the back of the net, it doesn't really matter how pretty it looks. And well, he's done that there, the Midtjylland shot stopper.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter, does it? As long as he keeps it out. One shot for Midtjylland to Nottingham Forest 5. Doesn't feel like it's that swing of a game. Usually you'd look at that and think Nottingham Forest well on top, even though they've only had the 5 shots themselves. But like I just said, it really doesn't feel like that at the moment. Ball from Sorensen goes long. He goes in behind towards Castillo, who jumps up for it. Marato into the challenge. Milenkovic clears his lines. Now it's out towards Simsir, who I think in open play hasn't been brilliant. He's done really well there, but that delivery he put in moments ago was fantastic from the set piece. His Billing, I think, he's probably been one of the better players, if not the best player on the park so far. Sharp turn from Castillo, looking for Brumada, who's not been that impressive, and Murillo's off on one of them surging runs again, and is he going to hit it? No, he picks the pass for Hutchinson into the area, he goes for goal, takes a deflection from Beck Sorensen and goes out for a corner. I'm surprised Murillo didn't hit it. I covered Vitor Pereira's first game in charge. Like I mentioned, Murillo went on one of these runs and he finally scored from one from distance. I thought he'd maybe got the knack for it this time.
Well, they fly forward, don't they, Forest? You have to credit them in that sense. They get bodies into the final third with such pace, and it's Hutchinson that it falls to. Even if that's not blocked, Kieran, it's such a tight angle. I doubt he's scoring from there. Brilliant, though, from Murillo, as you mentioned.
I do have a feeling that this system could benefit them more in the Premier League. It allows, I think the counter-attacking looks way more effective to try and stay up, as we now see a ball whipped in, headed away, at least as far as Murillo, who never really locates in the penalty area from corners, which is a surprise as a centre-half, but he's not the tallest. As you see Hudson-Odoi, obviously he always wants to go onto that right foot. Now he does, whips it in, hangs it into the area. Illich gets there. Anderson keeps it alive on the right-hand side. Sharp turn from him under pressure from Castillo. He gets a whack to the face. And Anderson's frustrated there because the same thing happened to him around the 15th minute, didn't it? And he never got the free kick. And that's not a foul.
How is that a free kick? Yeah. I just don't understand. It's really frustrating. Like, as someone who has played football at any level, he's gone into him. He's pushed him off. He's pushed him off balance, Kieran. So obviously he can't control his arms because he's just trying to make sure it doesn't fall over. And in doing so, his hand hits not even hits. I wouldn't use that word. It taps the face of his opponent, and somehow that's a free kick. That's crazy.
Yeah, really, really crazy. Especially for, like we always say when it comes to officiating, consistency is what we want. The same thing happened to Elliot Anderson earlier, and he never got the free kick from the situation with Billing, which, by the way, we're not saying we should have thought that was a free kick, but yeah. I mean, it's vice versa. If you give one, you've got to give both. As we now see a ball on the left-hand side for Simsir. He's up against Olarena. Good challenge in, and he wins the throw-in. Good work from Olarena. Feels like he's just dropped it a few yards deeper, hasn't he, over the last 5-6 minutes or so. I'm not sure if that's because Midtjylland maybe slowed down or not. Honestly, I'm not too sure as to the thinking there. Maybe just because Hutchinson's moving that little bit wider as well. As you see, Murata goes to the left-hand side. Here's Hudson-Odoi, who's been as the left wing-back so far in this one, but he's driving forwards up against Mbabu, good covering, defending from the Swiss international. Mbabu, and now it's forced to Anderson. He hits it from distance.
Oh, wow.
What a save that is, and that is impressive from Elliot Anderson, because he barely has a run-up. He takes a touch that's underneath, and he thunders it. I mean, that would have been one of the better goals you see in a long time. What a hit. That is an outrageous save.
Yeah, that is flying right into the top corner, isn't it? That is a brilliant save. He goes sprawling to his right-hand side. Brilliant stop from an absolutely excellent strike. I mean, we mentioned before, Olafsson didn't look convincing when he saved that Ola Aina deflected effort. Well, I mean, he looked brilliant there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. It's great technique from him. I don't even know how he's done that. Like I said, the touch is a bit underneath him. He never gets it out of his feet, does he? So he almost hits it from like, it's almost like take one step and strike. To get that much venom on it, I mean, that is serious technique from Anderson. Corner whipped in once again. It's into a dangerous area. The goalkeeper's in no man's land, cleared off the line, still alive. Gibbs White hooks it goalwards and it goes over the bar. Well, it's almost turned into from hero to zero, hasn't he, the goalkeeper? I think it's Billing with the block off the line. Really clever from him, it was. But the goalkeeper caught it. No one's like Hutchinson's out-swinging deliveries from corners have been wicked. So
yeah, 2 moments of danger for FC Midtjylland in very quick succession. Luckily, Billing able to save that one off the line. But you're absolutely right. So often we'll criticise corners that are poor and don't beat the first man. So we have to give credit where it's due. Hutchinson's have been great deliveries.
Yeah, they have really good out-swinging deliveries. I'm always more in favour of an in-swinging delivery. Mbabu's gone down under a challenge from Hudson-Odoi. He's given a free kick. I mean, I do not know how that is a free kick. On live viewing, it just seems like he's won the ball and Mbabu's landed poorly. We're going to see it back now. Mbabu takes the touch. Nice touchdown. Hudson-Odoi steps in, gets the ball. A little bit on... Yeah, he's on the top of the boot, but... I mean, where's he meant to go?
Yeah, it's not a foul for me either, to be honest. He wins possession. And it's a slight follow-through. Mbabu's going to be absolutely fine. It's play acting. You don't like to see it. It's a free kick in a really dangerous position. Well, Forest have had some good deliveries. But FC Midtjylland have got some big boys, haven't they? We mentioned Bramado. Billing's a real unit as well. And we've already seen the delivery of Simsier and the quality that he's got. So he's got plenty to aim for. And I'm sure he'll be able to find them as well.
Yeah, as we now see this delivery ready to be whipped in. Well, Simsier put a wicked one in, didn't he? Earlier on in this half, and back is the man over, and I think he's going to fool anyone this time that he might whip this one in, but yeah, we shall see. Yeah, he does the same thing, jumps over it. Simsier whips it in. This one not as good, headed away to the edge of the box. Castillo takes a touch. He wanted to shoot, didn't he? But it was a really, really poor touch from him. So we now see a ball to the right-hand side, and Babu goes down again. It's cleared by Hudson-Odoi. Hutchinson's going to get there, but it's a challenge in from Bravo. Hutchinson goes down, nothing given. And a throw in the way of Midtjylland. I think that's the right decision as well. I don't think that's a foul at all from Bravo. We've not said the number 19's name too much, have we, Bravo, so far? It's just allowed the game to tick along nicely. Castillo and Billing helping him out in midfield, in the midfield 3 at the moment. But even Simsier drops pretty deep as well. I think mainly maybe taking Brumado off if I'm thinking of a change for Midtjylland. I don't think the striker's done great in this one, has he? As we now see this ball into the hands of Hudson-Odoi, goes towards Murata. He finds Murillo. All the way across for Milenkovic, turns away, finds Olarena, cuts onto his left boot, plays it into the middle for Hutchinson, turns away once more. He's under real pressure from Beck Sorensen. It's a good challenge in for him as well. And he finds Bramado driving forwards. He's on his own because it's a breakaway into the penalty area. It's a couple of ball rolls from him. He's still going. Runs into traffic. He just looks so indecisive, doesn't he?
I mean, he's got no support there at all, has he? He's making that point to his teammates. 3 inside the area and none of them coming towards him for support. It's another one of those, by the way, that the referee's given a flailing arm. I mean, he'd been dispossessed anyway up until that point. But yeah, he's trying his best there, Bramado, but no real support.
As we now see the referee ready to allow play to continue. Dominguez moving on. I mean, the free kick got given because of that. I mean, once again, he's an absolute giant, isn't he? Bramado, where's he meant to put his hands when trying to shield the ball? Yes, he made a mess of it anyway, but it's not really the point. The flick on finds Jesus. Good opportunity. Lays it off for Hutchinson. Tight angle. Thought about shooting. Looks for the cutback. And he finds Gibbs White. Takes a deflection. And out for a corner. What a big opportunity. One of the biggest for Nottingham Forest so far. The defending is shambolic in the build-up from Midtjylland. Fell to Hutchinson. He looks for the cutback. What a chance for Gibbs White. It's a real big block in there from Sorensen.
Yeah, it's a really inventive finish, isn't it, from Gibbs White. Tries with the outside of his right boot. Maybe should have gone with his left. Probably would have got a better connection. It goes with his stronger boot. Brilliant from Hutchinson because he had been pushed wide by the ball. He does really well to claw it back and cut it into a dangerous area.
Yeah, see Elliot Anderson ready to whip this one in. His hands are up. The referee's going out to chat to him. 2 minutes over added time. He's putting a thumbs up towards the subs bench. I think that's in the case that he's allowed to take this one. As Elliot Anderson once again puts both arms up. I'm surprised it's not Hutchinson taking this because it's from that same side, but it's an in-swinging delivery. And now the referee's having a word with a few players in the area. He waves play to continue again for Elliot Anderson. Goes short from the corner. Finds Gibbs White. Heavy pass back to him. A real waste in the end for the time being, but they do still have possession. All arena back to the left-hand side for Elliot Anderson, who's going to have a drive at Castillo. He finds Hudson-Odoi out to Gibbs White. Takes some nice touches. He whips it in. Terrible delivery. Waste of a set.
That's a real shame because the marking's really poor again from Midtjylland. They actually grab them 3-on-2 there down the left-hand side and they don't take advantage. The ball into the area from Gibbs White is so poor, isn't it? It's overhit and out of play, but the ball before that from the corner from Gibbs White wasn't much better, was it? The short one into Gibbs White and the one back just so heavy. Really poor into the half for Forest. After the last sort of 10-15 minutes they'd been really lively and on top.
Yes, you now see Olafsson. He's going to boot it long all the way towards Castillo. He doesn't win his header against Dominguez despite looking like he's a whole foot taller than him, as we see Olarena turns all the way back to Matt Selswell. 20 seconds away. It's been a bit of a cagey half, but the best chance falling to Bermuda pretty quickly in this first half. He somehow scuffed his header, which was going wide but blocked anyway. Forest have had one cleared off the line as well, but it's all to play for going into the second half. As Gibbs White is in possession and going into the break at the City Ground. Nottingham Forest 0, Midtjylland 0.
Half-time, Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. The best chance of the game fell to the visitors very early on. Junior Bramado had a big opportunity to open the scoring, but his header from close distance didn't even hit the target before being swept away by Murillo. Big chances as well for Forest. Anderson had an excellent effort denied by the goalkeeper Olafsson. And then Morgan Gibbs White had an effort blocked at close distance, but it's still half-time. Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. Half-time, Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. The best chance of the game fell to the visitors very early on. Junior Bramado had a big opportunity to open the scoring, but his header from close distance didn't even hit the target before being swept away by Murillo. Big chances as well for Forest. Anderson had an excellent effort denied by the goalkeeper Olafsson. And then Morgan Gibbs White had an effort blocked at close distance, but it's still half-time. Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. Half-time, Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. The best chance of the game fell to the visitors very early on. Junior Bramado had a big opportunity to open the scoring, but his header from close distance didn't even hit the target before being swept away by Murillo. Big chances as well for Forest. Anderson had an excellent effort denied by the goalkeeper Olafsson. And then Morgan Gibbs White had an effort blocked at close distance, but it's still half-time. Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. Half-time, Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. The best chance of the game fell to the visitors very early on. Junior Bramado had a big opportunity to open the scoring, but his header from close distance didn't even hit the target before being swept away by Murillo. Big chances as well for Forest. Anderson had an excellent effort denied by the goalkeeper Olafsson, and then Morgan Gibbs-White had an effort blocked at close distance, but it's still half-time. Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. Half-time, Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. The best chance of the game fell to the visitors very early on. Junior Bramado had a big opportunity to open the scoring, but his header from close distance didn't even hit the target before being swept away by Murillo. Big chances as well for Forest. Anderson had an excellent effort denied by the goalkeeper Olafsson, and then Morgan Gibbs-White had an effort blocked at close distance, but it's still half-time. Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. Half-time, Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. The best chance of the game fell to the visitors very early on. Junior Bramado had a big opportunity to open the scoring, but his header from close distance didn't even hit the target before being swept away by Murillo. Big chances as well for Forest. Anderson had an excellent effort denied by the goalkeeper Olafsson, and then Morgan Gibbs-White had an effort blocked at close distance, but it's still half-time. Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. Half-time, Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. The best chance of the game fell to the visitors very early on. Junior Bramado had a big opportunity to open the scoring, but his header from close distance didn't even hit the target before being swept away by Murillo. Big chances as well for Forest. Anderson had an excellent effort denied by the goalkeeper Olafsson, and then Morgan Gibbs-White had an effort blocked at close distance, but it's still half-time. Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. Half-time, Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. The best chance of the game fell to the visitors very early on. Junior Bramado had a big opportunity to open the scoring, but his header from close distance didn't even hit the target before being swept away by Murillo. Big chances as well for Forest. Anderson had an excellent effort denied by the goalkeeper Olafsson, and then Morgan Gibbs-White had an effort blocked at close distance, but it's still half-time. Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. Half-time, Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. The best chance of the game fell to the visitors very early on. Junior Bramado had a big opportunity to open the scoring, but his header from close distance didn't even hit the target before being swept away by Murillo. Big chances as well for Forest. Anderson had an excellent effort denied by the goalkeeper Olafsson, and then Morgan Gibbs-White had an effort blocked at close distance, but it's still half-time. Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. Half-time, Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. The best chance of the game fell to the visitors very early on. Junior Bramado had a big opportunity to open the scoring, but his header from close distance didn't even hit the target before being swept away by Murillo. Big chances as well for Forest. Anderson had an excellent effort denied by the goalkeeper Olafsson, and then Morgan Gibbs-White had an effort blocked at close distance, but it's still half-time. Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. Half-time, Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. The best chance of the game fell to the visitors very early on. Junior Bramado had a big opportunity to open the scoring, but his header from close distance didn't even hit the target before being swept away by Murillo. Big chances as well for Forest. Anderson had an excellent effort denied by the goalkeeper Olafsson, and then Morgan Gibbs-White had an effort blocked at close distance, but it's still half-time. Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. Half-time, Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. The best chance of the game fell to the visitors very early on. Junior Bramado had a big opportunity to open the scoring, but his header from close distance didn't even hit the target before being swept away by Murillo. Big chances as well for Forest. Anderson had an excellent effort denied by the goalkeeper Olafsson, and then Morgan Gibbs-White had an effort blocked at close distance, but it's still half-time. Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. Half-time, Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. The best chance of the game fell to the visitors very early on. Junior Bramado had a big opportunity to open the scoring, but his header from close distance didn't even hit the target before being swept away by Murillo. Big chances as well for Forest. Anderson had an excellent effort denied by the goalkeeper Olafsson, and then Morgan Gibbs-White had an effort blocked at close distance, but it's still half-time. Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. Half-time, Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. The best chance of the game fell to the visitors very early on. Junior Bramado had a big opportunity to open the scoring, but his header from close distance didn't even hit the target before being swept away by Murillo. Big chances as well for Forest. Anderson had an excellent effort denied by the goalkeeper Olafsson, and then Morgan Gibbs-White had an effort blocked at close distance, but it's still half-time. Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. Half-time, Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. The best chance of the game fell to the visitors very early on. Junior Bramado had a big opportunity to open the scoring, but his header from close distance didn't even hit the target before being swept away by Murillo. Big chances as well for Forest. Anderson had an excellent effort denied by the goalkeeper Olafsson, and then Morgan Gibbs-White had an effort blocked at close distance, but it's still half-time. Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. Half-time, Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. The best chance of the game fell to the visitors very early on. Junior Bramado had a big opportunity to open the scoring, but his header from close distance didn't even hit the target before being swept away by Murillo. Big chances as well for Forest. Anderson had an excellent effort denied by the goalkeeper Olafsson, and then Morgan Gibbs-White had an effort blocked at close distance, but it's still half-time. Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. Half-time, Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. The best chance of the game fell to the visitors very early on. Junior Bramado had a big opportunity to open the scoring, but his header from close distance didn't even hit the target before being swept away by Murillo. Big chances as well for Forest. Anderson had an excellent effort denied by the goalkeeper Olafsson, and then Morgan Gibbs-White had an effort blocked at close distance, but it's still half-time. Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. Half-time, Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. The best chance of the game fell to the visitors very early on. Junior Bramado had a big opportunity to open the scoring, but his header from close distance didn't even hit the target before being swept away by Murillo. Big chances as well for Forest. Anderson had an excellent effort denied by the goalkeeper Olafsson, and then Morgan Gibbs-White had an effort blocked at close distance, but it's still half-time. Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. Half-time, Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. The best chance of the game fell to the visitors very early on. Junior Bramado had a big opportunity to open the scoring, but his header from close distance didn't even hit the target before being swept away by Murillo. Big chances as well for Forest. Anderson had an excellent effort denied by the goalkeeper Olafsson, and then Morgan Gibbs-White had an effort blocked at close distance, but it's still half-time. Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. Half-time, Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. The best chance of the game fell to the visitors very early on. Junior Bramado had a big opportunity to open the scoring, but his header from close distance didn't even hit the target before being swept away by Murillo. Big chances as well for Forest. Anderson had an excellent effort denied by the goalkeeper Olafsson, and then Morgan Gibbs-White had an effort blocked at close distance, but it's still half-time. Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. Half-time, Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. The best chance of the game fell to the visitors very early on. Junior Bramado had a big opportunity to open the scoring, but his header from close distance didn't even hit the target before being swept away by Murillo. Big chances as well for Forest. Anderson had an excellent effort denied by the goalkeeper Olafsson, and then Morgan Gibbs-White had an effort blocked at close distance, but it's still half-time. Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. Half-time, Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. The best chance of the game fell to the visitors very early on. Junior Bramado had a big opportunity to open the scoring, but his header from close distance didn't even hit the target before being swept away by Murillo. Big chances as well for Forest. Anderson had an excellent effort denied by the goalkeeper Olafsson, and then Morgan Gibbs-White had an effort blocked at close distance, but it's still half-time. Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. Half-time, Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. The best chance of the game fell to the visitors very early on. Junior Bramado had a big opportunity to open the scoring, but his header from close distance didn't even hit the target before being swept away by Murillo. Big chances as well for Forest. Anderson had an excellent effort denied by the goalkeeper Olafsson, and then Morgan Gibbs-White had an effort blocked at close distance, but it's still half-time. Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. Half-time, Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. The best chance of the game fell to the visitors very early on. Junior Bramado had a big opportunity to open the scoring, but his header from close distance didn't even hit the target before being swept away by Murillo. Big chances as well for Forest. Anderson had an excellent effort denied by the goalkeeper Olafsson, and then Morgan Gibbs-White had an effort blocked at close distance, but it's still half-time. Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. Half-time, Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. The best chance of the game fell to the visitors very early on. Junior Bramado had a big opportunity to open the scoring, but his header from close distance didn't even hit the target before being swept away by Murillo. Big chances as well for Forest. Anderson had an excellent effort denied by the goalkeeper Olafsson, and then Morgan Gibbs-White had an effort blocked at close distance, but it's still half-time. Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. Half-time, Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. The best chance of the game fell to the visitors very early on. Junior Bramado had a big opportunity to open the scoring, but his header from close distance didn't even hit the target before being swept away by Murillo. Big chances as well for Forest. Anderson had an excellent effort denied by the goalkeeper Olafsson, and then Morgan Gibbs-White had an effort blocked at close distance, but it's still half-time. Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. Half-time, Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. The best chance of the game fell to the visitors very early on. Junior Bramado had a big opportunity to open the scoring, but his header from close distance didn't even hit the target before being swept away by Murillo. Big chances as well for Forest. Anderson had an excellent effort denied by the goalkeeper Olafsson, and then Morgan Gibbs-White had an effort blocked at close distance, but it's still half-time. Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. Half-time, Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. The best chance of the game fell to the visitors very early on. Junior Bramado had a big opportunity to open the scoring, but his header from close distance didn't even hit the target before being swept away by Murillo. Big chances as well for Forest. Anderson had an excellent effort denied by the goalkeeper Olafsson, and then Morgan Gibbs-White had an effort blocked at close distance, but it's still half-time. Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. Half-time, Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. The best chance of the game fell to the visitors very early on. Junior Bramado had a big opportunity to open the scoring, but his header from close distance didn't even hit the target before being swept away by Murillo. Big chances as well for Forest. Anderson had an excellent effort denied by the goalkeeper Olafsson, and then Morgan Gibbs-White had an effort blocked at close distance, but it's still half-time. Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. Half-time, Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. The best chance of the game fell to the visitors very early on. Junior Bramado had a big opportunity to open the scoring, but his header from close distance didn't even hit the target before being swept away by Murillo. Big chances as well for Forest. Anderson had an excellent effort denied by the goalkeeper Olafsson, and then Morgan Gibbs-White had an effort blocked at close distance, but it's still half-time. Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. Half-time, Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. The best chance of the game fell to the visitors very early on. Junior Bramado had a big opportunity to open the scoring, but his header from close distance didn't even hit the target before being swept away by Murillo. Big chances as well for Forest. Anderson had an excellent effort denied by the goalkeeper Olafsson, and then Morgan Gibbs-White had an effort blocked at close distance, but it's still half-time. Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. Half-time, Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. The best chance of the game fell to the visitors very early on. Junior Bramado had a big opportunity to open the scoring, but his header from close distance didn't even hit the target before being swept away by Murillo. Big chances as well for Forest. Anderson had an excellent effort denied by the goalkeeper Olafsson, and then Morgan Gibbs-White had an effort blocked at close distance, but it's still half-time. Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. Half-time, Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. The best chance of the game fell to the visitors very early on. And it's a warm welcome back to this off-tube independent studio-based commentary and our coverage of this round of 16 clash in the UEFA Europa League between Nottingham Forest and FC Midtjylland. 0-0 at the break. Of course, the second meeting between these two sides, it was 3-2 to the Danish side in the league phase at the City Ground, but no goals just yet, although could be an early one in the second half as Morgan Gibbs-White is steaming forward, supported by Mari Hutchinson. His touch has just taken him away from the edge of the area. Now inside the box, though, on a tight angle on the left-hand side, drills it back across. Big chance for Ola Aina, blocked at source. Igor Jesus on the follow-up, that's cleared. FC Midtjylland have averted the danger, but less than a minute into the second half and Forest could have been in front. They had a host of chances in the first 45 minutes. Anderson forced a brilliant save. Hutchinson did as well. And very nearly in front to start the second half. It's myself, Tom Wilson, joined by Kieran Graham, whom I'll bring in just a moment as Anderson has a loose touch, goes out for a goal kick. But what a start that was.
What a great start to the half. And Nottingham Forest, they just needed that urgency, didn't they? It'd be interesting to see how they fare in this second half in terms of formation. I think they grew into that three at the back, didn't they? And it started to impress me a little bit. I don't know if they've changed from it and maybe gone to a back four with Williams obviously coming on from Rata. I hope they haven't. I think that, well, it's actually Gibbs White that blocked it in a shot, wasn't it? But I think they've got a better chance of staying up if they use that three at the back. I really do. Of course, this is a different competition, but I think it was starting to come into fruition a little bit.
Yeah, we'll bring you that change in the one for FC Midtjylland in just a moment. But for now, Elliot Anderson hits one. It was actually Dominguez who was steaming on to the end of it. Well, the tails of the tricky trees are certainly up. I know I've got my metaphors mixed there. But Dominguez this time, it's just always curling away. But what an effort that is.
Yeah, it is. Yes. Wow,
look at that.
I mean, that angle we've just seen, he'll have thought that's going on until the very moment that he sees it collide off something. That's how much it looked like it was going in. It swerves away from the far corner. Really unlucky. It's great technique, isn't it? It's hard to maybe berate him for not hitting the target because he hits it so sweet. I think the conditions maybe just don't necessarily help him. 13 shots to Midtjylland's one. Yeah. Like I said, it's not felt that dominant, has it? It felt like for a good 20-25 minutes, Midtjylland with a better side, but they've definitely become better at Forest. And
they had a big chance as well, didn't they, through Bramado, first of the game. Probably should have scored. We mentioned changes. Kieran mentioned Neko Williams. He's come on. The yellow-carded Morato has come off. Of course, that's the second change that Vitor Pereira has made. Cunha was forced off through injury where Milenkovic replaced him very early on in the first half. Mike Tulberg, the Danish manager, has also made a swap. Daniel Castillo has been replaced. It's Valdemar Biskov who's come on. Slightly attacking change, although they may have just reverted their formation as well, which means it's more like for like. We'll wait and see as the ball forward there to Bramado is mistimed. It's a free kick because Bramado's offside. Now, FC Midtjylland, you just mentioned there, they've only had the one shot and it was a big chance, but they were the joint top goal scorers in the league phase. 18 goals, tied with Leon, who also had 18. There from Kieran, because it's nearly a mistake at the back. It has led to Forest possession. Here's Hudson-Odoi down the left. He's got a defender to beat in Ehrlich, cuts infield, and now here's Neko Williams off the bench, goes one way then the other. Supported by Dominguez, out towards Hudson-Odoi once more. Hudson-Odoi cuts in on his right. It's that trademark run from him, and the shot comes in. It's the side netting, though. It's out of play for a goal kick, but they are really feeling this now.
Yeah, they are. They are really, really up for this one. Ball towards the front post. He really had his angles covered, didn't he? Just moved his arms away just in time. He was about to tip it around for a corner. Midtjylland back in possession.
Yeah, from the goal kick. 5 minutes gone in the second half. That's really poor from them. They've just given possession away. They're really uncomfortable in this second half. FC Midtjylland, a side unbeaten in 2026. 1-5 drawn 3. Winning 3 from 3 away from home as well. But they are second best in this one. Here's Hutchinson into the final third. His opportunity now to keep the ball in play. Does so with the support of Morgan Gibbs-White. Tries to flick it round the corner as part of a 1-2. Well, the 1 was on, but the 2 wasn't. And Babu dispossesses him. He goes long down the right-hand side. Poor pass from him, only as far as Neko Williams. Challenge comes in on him. Williams has done ever so well. The Welsh international still in possession. That's great. Ball into the area, deflected. They want handball. Referee not interested. Billing fakes the clearance, then makes a meal of it. Gives it to Ola Aina. On the right-hand side, they're at 6s and 7s here, the Danish side. Elliot Anderson in possession, centrally for Milenkovic. Milenkovic once more to Dominguez. This is lovely football. Hutchinson to Anderson. Anderson to Milenkovic. Dominguez forward to Gibbs White. First time round the corner, that's dispossessed. As he tried to find Igor Jesus into the hands of the goalkeeper. The rain has just started pouring at the City Ground. What effect will that have on the conditions? Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0, but Forest certainly the better of the two.
Yeah, they have been this half. I'm not really sure if what poor wet conditions, who that really suits more. Maybe Midtjylland a little bit, because it might just take away a bit of control for Nottingham Forest. I guess for Forest, if they're keeping the intensity on, keeping the pressure on, probably going to be more mistakes from Midtjylland out the back. But yeah, it could make it a really interesting game, actually. Here comes a rare attack. There's actually a strike from distance that bounces. Good save from Matt Sells in the end. Well, that came from absolutely nowhere. A strike in the end. And Matt Sells, once again, we're just speaking about the conditions, just skins off the turf. It was the substitute Biskov with the strike. He hits it so well. Yeah, some finish. Well, some strike from Biskov. Great save from Sells. Biskov trying to immediately impact the game off the bench. The manager, Mike Tulberg's preparing a couple more changes as well as we speak. But at the moment, FC Midtjylland with the corner. It will be an in-swinger from Simser, who's shown he's got good delivery already. Right arm in the air, right boot at the ball towards the front post. Nodded down, but not away. Still alive as it's dropped back towards the edge. Biskov again. It's off the crossbar. It's flicked away this time by Forest. They're looking to break now. Morgan Gibbs-White steaming forward. Hutchinson supporting him. Chet's back. Uses Hutchinson into the final third now on the right-hand side. Hutchinson got a defender to beat, who's tracked back really well. Hutchinson onto his right boot. Dinked in towards the back stick. Nodded away by Biskov. Only as far as a Forest man on the edge of the area. Elliot Anderson keeps it alive on the corner of the box. Aina from him. Aina looking to wind one up. He's collided with Biskov, and referee waves play on. It's a ball forward to Bramado, which is not going to work out. That'll break down. Wow, what an effort that was. Why did he not start? Yeah. I mean, he has looked unbelievable since coming on with those two strikes. 5 goals this season in the Danish Superliga, and then just the 1 goal in the Europa League. And he almost scored moments before. He just takes it out of his feet, looks to pass it into the near top corner. What a hit that is. He's so unlucky. Crashed straight off the middle of the crossbar. 2 brilliant strikes. He's unlucky not to have a goal. The wind and the rain in combination, by the way, it's literally just come out of absolutely nowhere. That we're in a studio, thank the Lord, but those inside the City Ground, I imagine, they're getting absolutely soaked. It is just put the hoods up.
Yeah, it is swirling around out there like you've never seen from absolutely nowhere. 53 minutes on the clock, still goalless at the City Ground. Nottingham Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. Just to quickly bring you up to speed, Celta Vigo 1-0 up at home against Lyon, but they're down to 10 men. I think Varos are leading at home against Braga by 1-0. The same scoreline for Genk at home to Freiburg. In the Conference League, AEK are 4-0 up away against Celje, and it's still goalless in the other 3 games between Crystal Palace, AEK Larnaca, Fiorentina and Roko, and Sigma, Olumchuk and Mainz. Forest in possession. Hutchinson has a run at his man. Cuts in field, slips in possession, still has it. Waiting for support, Hutchinson on the periphery of the final third. Supported by Aina. Aina to Anderson. Back to Aina. Anderson once more. With his back to goal, he's put himself in a little bit of a hole there. He manages to squirm his way out of it to find Dominguez on halfway. 10 minutes gone in the second half. Forest 0, Midtjylland 0. Anderson. Good work from him. Goes backwards though to Dominguez. He goes laterally to Murillo. Murillo tries to fire it into the feet of Hudson-Odoi, but it doesn't have enough on it. And then Babu's picked his pocket. And now forward he comes in towards the final third. He's got loads of room to move into. Opts for the pass. Doesn't work out. Gives possession back. Midtjylland, I said they look at 6s and 7s. They look absolutely devoid of ideas and energy. Yeah, they do. They really do. When they get into the final third, it just feels like they're all a little bit too far away from each other in that sense. I think their build-up's been fantastic. Does feel like it's going to take a moment of magic for Midtjylland to score in this game, though they've had a sitter that they haven't scored. They've had 2 great strikes from distance that still haven't found the back of the net. I don't think Nottingham Forest really look like scoring at the moment either, which, I mean, the Danish side absolutely love that, won't they? They'd have taken a draw and then snapped your hand off and instantly sprinted out of England to go back to Denmark, ready for their
second leg next week, which will be an interesting tie, I feel.
Yeah, they are certainly behind in terms of the stats. Forest have accumulated a total XG of 1.31, but that's from 14 shots, 4 on target. They haven't really had an opportunity in front of goal where you think they should have scored. The goalkeeper, Olafsson, denied Anderson brilliantly in the first half, and Hutchinson as well. But you have to say, Midtjylland have still had the best chance of the game. Brumado with his header that went wayward. As Murillo picks up the ball, tries to switch it across to Amari Hutchinson. It's picked off though by Simsir. Now forward they come down the left-hand side. Jensen to Simsir. He's got Dominguez to beat. Goes one way then the other. Tries to use some fancy feet. Supported by Jensen. The reverse ball back towards Simsir. Doesn't quite work out. Einer's picked possession back up. He's able to clear it down the right-hand side. That's out of play. That'll be a throw into FC Midtjylland. And a couple of changes as well on their way for the visitors. Junior Brumado's race is run off. He comes just before the hour mark. And the other man coming off will be Aral Simsir as well, which is a bit of a surprise given I think there's more to show from Aral Simsir, but it's he and Brumado who come off, and well, those listening won't have the benefit, of course, of seeing what we're seeing, but the cameras are really struggling with the amount of rain that's coming down, so much so that we couldn't even see who came on there. Gusung Choi is one of those who is coming on. And there's a chuckle there from Kieran as we're seeing some shots of the unfortunate fans inside the City Ground this evening. The other coming on is Ure. So a double change then for the visitors. Hopefully that can give them something, Kieran, because they've been poor in the second half.
Yeah, that just looked like painful rain, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
The type of really heavy rain where they're glistening, they are that drenched. And then they cut to the Midtjylland fans who are all stood there with their tops off, dancing around, and that's just the crazy sights you see. And then back to the Nottingham Forest fans with their umbrellas up, and that just shows what you see in European football. But it is heavy. But yeah, a couple of changes. Ule and Cho on for Brumado and Simsir. I don't think Brumado was great. Missed that outstanding opportunity. Ball in behind. Here comes Hudson-Odoi.
Yeah, down the left-hand side. Hudson-Odoi in towards the byline, and Babu's pulled up. Still Hudson-Odoi draws it back to Gibbs-White inside the area. Hutchinson pulled the trigger. He does. It's blocked. It's cleared. Midtjylland deal with it. Maybe one too many passes there from Vitor Pereira's side. And Babu, as I mentioned, had gone down. He pulled up with a hamstring injury. Nottingham Forest chance missed yet again.
Yeah, he pulls up straight away, doesn't he, Mbabu, which allows Hudson-Odoi to go through on goal. He was onside, just seeing it now. Mbabu instantly, you can tell he feels it, tries to keep running, and his left leg just goes, doesn't he? He's laid down, I'm not sure, well, you'd be shocked if he can continue here, if it is the hamstring injury, but it goes behind it. Everybody's drenched, and it's not just like they're wet, they're absolutely drenched. Vitor Pereira, he's raging with his side because they're just not pulling the trigger quick enough.
Yeah, they look like a side to me, Kieran, that they're playing like they're 3-0 up already. They're not. This is the first leg. It's Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0, but they're being really lackadaisical. Yes, they're moving the ball really well, and there's some lovely football on display, and they are creating opportunities, but they have to be getting the opportunities in the right areas. They have to be pulling the trigger when the chance comes. They're not. And you just wonder, the longer the game goes on, will they pay the price for that?
Yeah, they definitely could do. We've seen two great chances, haven't we, this second half for Midtjylland. Forest have had great chances throughout. I mean, that Elliot Anderson strike in the first half, what a save it was. One of the better saves you'll see. And Babu's about to make way for the number 3, Lee, who enters the field of play. So that's a change. South Korean defender, Han Byung Lee, onto field of play, formerly of Seoul in Korea.
There's been a goal in the Conference League. Rakot have taken the lead away against Fiorentina on the hour mark as the game continues in hours. An hour gone, Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. A real lively feel about the game. The conditions have certainly opened things up. Here's Anderson on the right-hand side, tries to flake through to Gibbs-White. It's just in front of him, and it's cleared away by FC Midtjylland. But the half chances, the balls into the area, are really racking up now for Vitor Pereira's side. It's Anderson again, who's been absolutely everywhere this evening. Tries to pick out Morgan Gibbs-White. Maybe it's the surface which has been affected by the rain, which just stops him getting a good control on the ball. Throw-in taken short, then reverse back towards halfway. Milenkovic to Murillo, back to Milenkovic on halfway. Milenkovic here now takes a couple of touches, runs away from a couple of challenges, opens up towards the left for Gibbs White. The captain has a look into the area, reverse pass towards Dominguez across the face of goal, but Igor Jesus is not anticipating it, and the goalkeeper will be able to come and get it. He'll collect it. Igor Jesus is frustrated with something. What a lovely piece of innovation there from Morgan Gibbs White. Play on here, those Hutchinson has it, back to Anderson. Anderson looks into the area, cuts back onto his left. Aina now about 40 yards from goal. Aina has a look forward, finds Dominguez to Hutchinson, to Anderson. Anderson into the area, deflected cross into the hands of the goalkeeper, and a comfortable collection in the end.
Yeah, simple take for all AILFC. Nottingham Forest are at home on Sunday. They'll be hoping this rain holds up or stops in that sense, because you can see it's really doing its damage to the pitch as well. It's looking muddy, it's looking bobbly, which, I mean, it's a Premier League side. They get the best groundsmen in the business, don't they? But it's going to be a busy job for them after this game for tomorrow and the coming days for Sunday. They're at home to Fulham. That's a massive game in the Premier League. Them being at home to Fulham, Leeds have to travel to Palace, Tottenham have to travel to Anfield, and West Ham have got Man City. What a chance it could be for Forest.
Yeah, Forest have won just one of their previous 8 games at home in all competitions. With this one at home that they're yet to win, and of course the next one, as you mentioned, in the Premier League against Fulham. 2 big games in the context of their season. That's a poor header from Williams. He's given possession back to FC Midtjylland. The ball forward though into the final third for Biskov. He's just too heavy. It's overrun and out of play. 62 minutes gone. Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. Fiorentina have equalised at home against Rocco, and the lead for the visitors in that one didn't last too long. Still no goal in our game. No goal in the game at Selhurst Park either, between Crystal Palace and AEK Larnaca. As I mentioned earlier, of course, Forest lost against Midtjylland in the league phase. Likewise, Palace lost against Larnaca in the league phase. So both looking to bite back and get some revenge. Here's Ure. Goes backwards towards halfway, where it's picked up by Billing. You can see the ball's just not gliding along the surface as it was previously. There's a little bit more sludge on it. Players are going to have to put a little bit more heft into their passes out towards the right hand side. It's Lee. 1-2 with Zhao. Back to Lee. On the right hand side now is Bravo. Bravo infield to the captain. Beck, Sorensen. Sorensen towards the left hand side to Jensen.
Look at the halfway line, Tom. I mean, the ball just barely trickled over it. It slowed the ball down so much. Every time players are moving, you can see the water just flying off the back of the boots. I mean, this is taking it, especially in the middle of the pitch, it's really taking its toll.
Yeah, it is soggy out there. It's got to be said. Gibbs White's collided with Zhao. Referee waves play on as Igor Jesus tries to come away with it. He wants handball. Well, the referee's played advantage. There isn't advantage. And now FC Midtjylland can come forward. Billing into the final third. On the right-hand side goes Cho Gyu-sung. On that right flank, looks forward. Finds a teammate in Biskov, the substitute. Here's a couple of efforts. Have been the only thing that Selns has had to do in this second half. Billing slows things down. Moves centrally for Bravo. Bravo back to Biskov. Biskov round the corner to Billing once more. He's popping up everywhere. Down the line. Heavy touch. Still alive though as Lee has it. Midtjylland with a good spell of possession. Billing. 64 minutes gone. Forest 0, Midtjylland 0. You're listening to Off-Tube Independent Studio-based commentary. Here's Lee. Has a look inside the area. Thinks better of it. Moves away. Lee 1-2 with Biskov. Back down the line looking for Lee. Poor ball intercepted by Williams. That's lovely from Gibbs White just to evade the first challenge. Doesn't evade the second though, as it's won back by Midtjylland. All a bit scrappy as Lee comes away with it. Drawn towards the edge of the area. Could this be an opportunity for the visitors? Chat comes in. It's blocked at source. Nottingham Forest can come away with it. Anderson's not been fouled there. Well, he thought he had. In the end, it's gone out for a Forest throw. But that's exactly what I was talking about before, Kieran, where Nottingham Forest have been on top for the majority of the game, but they haven't taken their chances. Yes, this one's blocked, but had that gone in, they'd be ruining those missed opportunities.
Yeah, they would. What a chance for back at the back post as well. As we see, Igor Jesus, he's been a bit quiet, hasn't he, this second half? Igor Jesus, and sometimes I watch him and I'm really impressed with him. Sometimes I watch him and I think he's really disappointing. He's so hit and miss for me so far this season. I think he's always better in Europe than he is the Premier League. Maybe that's because you're against weaker opposition, but we see Gibbs White. That's a poor pass from him. Looks like they were preparing Lorenzo Luca, the 6 foot. I think it's 6'7", 6'8" striker ready to come on.
Well, if the ground's muddy and boggy and the ball won't play along it, you might have to play in the air, and that'll be certainly more beneficial if they're doing that with Lorenzo Luca on the pitch. But no change just yet. You mentioned Igor Jesus, 12 goals in all competitions, 7 of those in this competition, the Europa League. Coming into this round of 16 tie, he was joint top goal scorer. I believe he remains so. As the ball forward towards Hutchinson is picked off by FC Midtjylland. Zhao has it at the back. Just double checking, yeah, he's still tied. It's Stanic who's also got 7 for Ludogorets, but I think they've been knocked out, by Ferenc Varos. They progressed, and they're in front as well. They've just doubled their lead at home against Braga. 66 minutes on the clock. Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. As Lee flicks it into the air rather unconventionally, then has to try and win his own header. He doesn't win the header. Here comes Anderson from Hudson-Odoi. Anderson about midway through opposition territory. On the right hand side now is Aina. Approaching the edge of the box is Anderson. Anderson onto the byline for Hutchinson on the right hand side. He's got one to beat. Cuts in field, gets a shot away. It's deflected into the area. Header on goal is tame from Igor Jesus. It's a comfortable collection from Elias Olafsson. And yet again, it remains goalless.
Yeah, you're right. It was turned from Jesus. He just gets across his man, doesn't he, to try and win it, but he has to hook it, neck muscles that much. I think it actually bounced off his shoulder in the end as well, that he just heads it straight down the throat of the goalkeeper. Forward ball looking for the Midtjylland man, but that goes all the way through into the hands of Matt Sell. 67 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, a couple of news outlets are suggesting that the game's close to being abandoned if the rain keeps up. I don't think it's that bad just yet, but we'll of course keep you updated. Here come Midtjylland down the left-hand side. Ure supported by Jensen, ball into the air towards the back. Lee has a little bit of a push, trying to create some space. No foul, says the referee, but it has broken down initially for Midtjylland. Billing then shows too much to Igor Jesus. Luckily, though, Zhao's on hand, but then he's given the ball away. Gibbs White forward over halfway to Igor Jesus. Red shirts flooding forward for Nottingham Forest. Jesus just held up by Billing. He has to go backwards to Williams. Williams to Dominguez. Dominguez back into opposition territory and tries to find the feet of Gibbs White. It's a poor pass. It's going to be picked off by Zhao. It'll be cleared away by Olafsson. And danger averted. Forest 0, FC Midtjylland 0. But that's a poor pass. Here's Anderson up the other way into the area, trying to find room for a strike. Anderson should do better. It's a simple save in the end from Olafsson. How many chances do you want? And it's Elliot Anderson on this occasion. Really, I hate to say he should score, but he needs to make the goalkeeper work a bit more than that.
Needs to go across the face of goal, doesn't he? Elliot Anderson, he does so well. He just checks onto his right boot, sells the defender. It looked like a tired shot, leaning back the whole time. What an opportunity it was for him. And the change getting ready to come up. It's going to be Luca who comes on for Igor Jesus, and Dominguez makes way for Sangare.
Well, Dominguez denied brilliantly in the first half by Elias Olafsson, who has been a busy boy, hasn't he, this evening. 6 shots on target from 18 total efforts from Nottingham Forest. 57% possession. Midtjylland with just the 4 shots and 1 on target. And that doesn't even fails to mention the brilliant effort that Bramado had or should have had to put Midtjylland in front very early on. As those changes are now made. Lorenzo Luca for Igor Jesus and Sangare for Dominguez, as Kieran mentioned. Well, we are 3/4 of the way through the game. The rain seems to have slowed down for now. Hopefully the action won't. Here's Kieran to take you through to full time.
Yeah, thank you very much, Thomas. See a terrible pass from Elliot Anderson. He gives it straight towards back. And now he plays it all the way in towards Biskov. It's with Ehrlich to the left-hand side. Beck Sorensen plays it down the channel, looking towards back again. A little bit of a push into Olarena. Forward ball once more. The referee allowed play to continue. There's no free kick given. Philip Billing takes a risky touch, and he plays it back to his goalkeeper, who goes to meet it. Doesn't want to take the risk of the ball holding up on the turf, as Yuda can't meet it. And it's going to fall towards back again, driving into the penalty area. Big sliding challenge from Olarena. Falls only as far as Bravo. Plays it across for Biscoff. Thought about the shot. Plays it down the line. What a ball that is. And he's going to be looking for a cutback. It's going to go towards back. And it's well cleared away by Elliot Anderson. Great ball from Biscoff down the line.
Yeah, it just cuts through the defenders, doesn't it? It's just round the back of Callum Hudson-Odoi. It's just past Nico Williams. The ground seems to hold the ball up a little bit more at the Midtjylland end. Had it held the ball up there, they would have been in a really good position to square it across. It was just too much on it.
Here's you now see a long throw ready to be taken by Beck Sorensen, who launched it in towards the front post. Not a great throw in the end from him. Olarena heads away. It's back towards Sorensen. He scoops it down the line for Back, whips it in. Decent delivery. Headed away by Milenkovic, and he gets his header all wrong, and he gives away a cheap corner. Yeah, he should do better there, shouldn't he? He's not really marking anyone. It's a free header from Milenkovic after a decent ball in. Just gets it all wrong, just bounces off the side of his head and out for that corner for FC Midtjylland. Well, again, the longer and longer it goes on at 0-0, the more I think that Midtjylland might just grab a goal, Kieran, because Nottingham Forest, they're just giving me that sense that they could be here all evening and not find the back of the net. Yeah, exactly. And looking a little bit suspect at the back as Biscoff takes the corner shot. He gets it back, whips it in, takes a deflection from Hutchinson, and it's cleared away as far as Gibbs White. And here come Nottingham Forest on the counter-attack. Gibbs White down the right-hand side. Hutchinson is overlapping. He looks for Hutchinson.
Great
terrible
challenge.
Ball into him, but it's a great challenge. As Tom mentions from Bravo, just predicted it really well. He's now driving himself with it. Bravo, good footing from Sangare. Gibbs White another poor ball into Olarena, who does really well to recover it and retrieve it. He wins a free kick. Big challenge from Bravo, but the pass from Gibbs White to Hutchinson had to be better.
Yeah, I don't want to be too critical, but I think he's been poor this evening. And you do get that with Gibbs White from time to time because he's the first name on the team sheet, he's the captain, and he plays so much football. He does get tired, and there is inconsistencies. Here's Hudson-Odoi.
Here's you now see the ball back towards Sangare. Turns away from his man towards the left-hand side. It's going to be checked back from Elliot Anderson. Still on the attack. Anderson plays it back for Hudson-Odoi again. It's going to be with Sangare. Now it's Murillo. Steps back once more for Nico Williams. We've not said his name too much since he entered the field of play. Now it's with Hudson-Odoi. He cuts inside. Whips in. Dangerous delivery towards the back post, but it's straight into the hands of Olafsson. He's going to take his time before he relieves of his duties here. As we now seeing the cross back again. It wasn't a terrible ball in. Once again, it's just lacking anyone really making the movement to it. Lorenzo Luca jumped and he's tall, which shows that it had to be heavy if he can jump and not win the header. Sangare lets it bounce. I don't know what he's thinking there. I'm sure Vitor Pereira not too happy with him in that instance. As we see back, a nice ball in towards Biskov. Lays it across for Ure, who hits it from distance. Well blocked away by Milenkovic. Plays it out towards Hutchinson. It's a lot of pop shots at the moment, isn't it, for Midtjylland? But a couple of them have come so close to finding the back of the net. Sangare under a bit of pressure from Ure. He just pulls him back, and that's a clear as day free kick. The number 17 substitute. Can't have too many complaints about that one.
Yeah, there have been pot shots, and I've been quite impressed with Olafsson, but he's not really been forced into many saves outside of the Anderson one and the Hutchinson one in the first half. The rest have been pretty cut and dry. Interestingly, about the Icelandic goalkeeper, he actually played 2 games for the Iceland national volleyball team in 2015 before he quit that and the sport of handball to prioritise football. I think, considering he's starting a round of 16 tie for FC Midtjylland at the City Ground this evening, it's probably been a vindicated decision.
Yeah, definitely. Well, what a random fact, and you always find them when you cover European games. You see Hudson-Odoi cuts inside to find Nico Williams. He's had a decent game, hasn't he, Olafsson? A couple of times he's powered it into dangerous areas. Ball whipped in again, well headed away by Zhao, and it goes out for a corner kick. Well, they've had some decent deliveries, haven't they, so far? They've just not been dangerous from these set pieces enough.
Yeah, you mentioned the Hutchinson corners in the first half were really dangerous, but they were so well defended by FC Midtjylland. I think the crosses in open play have been okay, but again, they've been defended quite comfortably by the visitors. There's a pause in play here because I think, is it Usman Diao who's down? Well, they've had to make 3 changes already, FC Midtjylland. They won't want to make a one that's not planned and one that's enforced upon them. But yeah, hopefully this corner in from Anderson can cause some problems for a Forest perspective.
Yes, we now just await this to be taken. It's going to be whipped in. An in-swinging delivery. They're all crowding the goalkeeper, Olafsson. who's watching on, waiting for maybe a decision from the referee. I think he believes he's been fouled for the time being, but the corner hasn't been taken. Cho located at the front post. 75 minutes on the clock, 0-0 between these two sides. Connor ready to be swung in swinging delivery, a dangerous one straight onto the goalkeeper. Great goalkeeping as well. He gets through that whole herd of bodies and he claims it, and that's just what you want. If you're a defence defending a set piece, you want to be confident that your goalkeeper can deal with it if needed. That's what he did.
Yeah, again, brilliant. I mean, he's 6'7". He's a real rangy goalkeeper, and he comes out and grabs that with no problem whatsoever. We just mentioned they need to make more of those set-piece situations, those crosses into the area, and they failed to do so there. Again, 15 minutes remaining now, still Forest 0, Midtjylland 0. And you just feel that there's a little bit of a spell in this for Midtjylland. Here they come.
And here they come down the left-hand side. It's a nice run from back. Plays it into a penalty area. He looks for the cutback. And it's well cleared away towards Hutchinson. Again, lovely touch from him. Just clips it over the head of Sorensen. He's still going. Hutchinson picks the pass into the middle for Anderson. This is a really nice counter-attack. It's Gibbs White on the right-hand side. Plays it down the line for Anderson again, who gets there first. Plays it across the face of goal. Everything he's doing, the final ball, it's looking tired, isn't it, from Elliot Anderson. Doesn't get too much on it. Cleared away. Now it's only as far as Gibbs White. Toe pokes it towards Olerena. It's in with Amari Hutchinson. Sharp turn, but he loses balance under the challenge from Philip Billing. Long ball up towards Cho, who's in a foot race with Milenkovic, but the big Serbian centre-half had a few yards advantage on him, so he gets there first with ease. Picks it back up from Matt Sells as we now see Sangare plays it across to Elliot Anderson. He plays a first-time ball down the right-hand side. What a pass that is from Elliot Anderson. That one wasn't a tired ball. Gibbs White hooks it towards the back post. That just seemed a desperate ball. They made a mess of it at the back. It falls towards Hudson-Odoi. What a ball it was, though, from Elliot Anderson moments ago. We'll get Tom's thoughts on that in a minute. As we see Hutchinson, he plays a poor pass into the goalkeeper.
Well, I was just thinking, Lorenzo Luca just nodded it down there. I think that's his first touch off the bench. They've brought on the big man and have not utilised it whatsoever, have they? They've not been playing the balls into him. When he can win those headers above the two centre-halves, it's really been a wasted substitution. In truth, it was a great ball from Anderson, but again, Morgan Gibbs-White not making the most of it. I think his race might be run. He's looking really tired, really lethargic.
Yeah, as we now see the ball with Hutchinson, lays it off for Gibbs-White. It just doesn't make... Them two have been arguing quite a bit over the last 20 minutes, Hutchinson and Gibbs-White. I mean, they're players that like to really showcase their flair and directive play, but they're just not linking up very well at the moment in this one. As you see the ball on the right-hand side with Lee. Back to Billing. Lee again, a couple 1-2s between those two. Former Huddersfield man goes all the way back for Zhao. Now it's going to be with Ehrlich in possession. No real press from Nottingham Forest. Just looking a bit tired at the moment. The home side not really taking advantage. Even if they go and win this game 1-0, I think Midtjylland will still be really confident next week they can overturn that. I guess when you are the home side of two-legged affairs in the first one, you want that at least 2-goal cushion, don't you? Going to the opposition, but it's certainly not looked like that, and they've been wasteful in front of goal. Yeah,
and I mean, you look at the other 3 games going on this evening as well. Lyon probably favourites for the competition given their excellence in the league phase. They're behind against Celta Vigo, but even Lyon will be thinking 1 goal that we can overturn at home. We'll probably fancy themselves. Frank Varos are 2-0 up against Braga. They've done themselves a solid, but that's still not over with. And then Genk 1, Freiburg 0. You fancy the Germans would give themselves a good opportunity to come back into it. So at 0-0 with Forest and Midtjylland, Forest have to go to Denmark for the reverse fixture. They're asking a lot of themselves. It's not, I wouldn't categorise it as an uphill battle, but it's a bit of a slope, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's Delaney backward, getting ready to come on. Well, it's been hard for him so far. Every time I've seen him play for Nottingham Forest, and it's going to sound a bit brutal, but I've always thought he's the worst player on the pitch. He so almost joined Leeds United in the summer before he's moved to Nottingham Forest. He was really bright at Strasbourg. I'd seen him a couple of times, but just hasn't got going in the Premier League or in Europe for Forest yet. That's a poor touch from back, but he's going to do well to keep it in play, the left wing back. As we now see him in possession still, and he goes all the way back for Sorensen. Now it's going to be played into the middle for Billing. Goes to the right-hand side for Zhao, who's in a lot of space to drive forwards. Finds Lee. Lee back to Zhao. He's got a couple options in the penalty area in Cho and Ure. He whips it, looking towards Cho, who wins the header. What a header that is from Cho as well. And we thought that Midtjylland could have snuck something. It's a simple ball in, but what a header from Cho, back where it came from, into the far bottom corner. The super sub who runs over and celebrates with his gaffer. It doesn't necessarily feel like a smash and grab, does it? But what a moment for them, and it's 1-0 to the Danish side.
Yeah, well, just as Forest were preparing a change of their own, it's one of the FC Midtjylland substitutes who's made the difference here. 10 minutes to go, and Cho has nodded Midtjylland in front. They've already had their number in this competition already this season. They've just hung on in there long enough, and then they've took their opportunity in front of goal. Cho with a brilliant header. It's a great ball in from that right-hand side by Zhao. Just enough on it. Gives Cho something to go and attack. He beats Aina to it. It's actually lazy defending from Ola Aina. He just tries to hold off Cho with his arm and doesn't anticipate that he's going to come round him. And the South Korean makes the move and heads in towards the far corner. Brilliant header. And FC Midtjylland, I wouldn't say they deserve to go in front, but I don't think they deserve to be behind either.
Yeah, exactly. And what a moment that is. It's a great header, isn't it? He couldn't have put it anywhere better. Showing it just looks like pure delight on his face, doesn't it? It's like he can't believe what's happened. He's running around, waving around, and he goes and jumps into his manager. Big, big moment. Nottingham Forest, dreadful form continues. And Ola Aina, I think that's him being punished by the manager there, because he's instantly gone off for backward, and this is weird. They've put Hudson-Odoi at right back.
Yeah, it's a strange one, isn't it? Backwards come on. I thought when I saw Aina sitting on the bench there, Kieran, that they were just going to go gung-ho and throw everyone at it, but apparently one of their best attacking options still on the pitch in Callum Hudson-Odoi is fit to play at full-back.
Yeah, he started the game at left wing-back. Second half he's been left wing, and now he's right back. So an interesting game from Hudson-Odoi. We saw him play wing-back a little bit at Chelsea, didn't we? Not too much, though. He definitely doesn't really have a defensive body in his body. As you see, Hutchinson, nice ball out towards Nico Williams. He's going to drive forwards, picks the pass for Elliot Anderson, who looks to get the better of Zhao. He's still going, looks for the cutback. He finds backward for his first touches of the game. Goes down the channel, cuts back again, finds Elliot Anderson. He cuts inside, goes for goal, takes a deflection, hits the side, netted. I think some Forest fans on the far side, on the near side to the dugout, may have thought that hit the back of the net with the way it hit the side netting, but it goes for a corner. He's
trying his best, Kieran, Elliot Anderson, to claw his team forward, to give them something. He's been their best player, you've got to say. He's just driving them forward. He's running everywhere. He's just got relentless amounts of energy. There's only so much one man can do. He needs some support from his teammates.
Yeah, he does. Amari Hutchinson now in possession of this corner. It's going to go back to him with the out-swinging deliveries, which we'd seen him whip a couple of decent ones in the first half. He whips in. It's a good one again to the head of Murillo. His header is poor and he puts it over the bar.
Yeah, it's not a great header, is it? You mentioned that Murillo sometimes doesn't get involved from corners, but we're at that stage in the game where everyone needs to get involved. He wins his header, but there's just so many bodies in the way. He's never going to make a clear contact.
Yeah, this is a bit of a catastrophic result in all for Nottingham Forest, because they'd have loved a heavy victory today so they can maybe rest a couple of players next week and maybe over some Premier League fixtures. But I mean, they're going to have to go full strength against Forest and Midtjylland, and after Midtjylland it's Spurs away. What a big game that is. You feel the Midtjylland fans, they're having fun.
They're having a load of fun, aren't they? They've also got no shirts, most of them. I think there's probably a few Newcastle fans that have snuck in to watch a game of football this evening, judging by the fact that it's been torrential rain and they've still got their tops off.
Yeah, exactly. As we see Lorenzo Luca, he goes down, he fouls his man in, and I think he's fallen over there, fouled his man, but because he's fallen over, he's got the decision. That seemed a little bit of a dodgy one to me.
Yeah, I didn't agree with that either from the referee, Rade Obrenovic. I think the Forest fans were a little bit unhappy with him in the first half, the way that some of the decisions were going or weren't going their way. We speak back about that one where Anderson's clipped in the face by a stray arm, then he does the same thing, and it's not a foul for the first, but it is for the second. But that one's gone their way. Just 6 minutes to go.
Yeah, and Leon have levelled things up away at Celta Vigo. It's that man Hendrick who's been brilliant since going to Leon alone from Real Madrid. Had a bit of a hard time in Spain initially, but that's literally the beauty of loan moves. That's why they're a thing. isn't it, to regain confidence, to find form, still be playing European football. But here come Forest on the attack. Sharp turn from Luca. He goes down. It falls to Sangare, who hits it from distance. I don't know if that takes a deflection and goes over the bar. I believe a goal kick has been given. Once again, a little bit central was the strike as well. I think AILFC may have had it covered. Luca's not happy. He's claiming it should have been a free kick.
See, I actually think that one was a free kick. Lorenzo Luca gets his body between the ball and Billing, and Billing's moving at pace. He can't move out the way and runs into him. I think that should be a free kick. It's not given. It falls to Sangare, and the shot's not the greatest. It's quite central, and it's over the bar.
Yeah, as we now see the ball going towards the goal kick. It's been booted along towards Ere. He doesn't win his header, and now it's with Callum Hudson-Odoi. Turns in towards Hutchinson. Hudson-Odoi goes down. It's going to be a free kick. Vitor Pereira is not happy with the referee. I mean, he's given the free kick. I'm not too sure what the complaints are about. As you now see Nico Williams for Elliot Anderson. Now it's going to be Murillo. Plays it down the left-hand side for Williams again. Elliot Anderson carrying it forwards. Plays it for the left-hand side of Gibbs-White. Delaney backward. Finds Elliot Anderson again. He's going to carry it into the middle of the park. Anderson finds Sangare. Plays it to the right-hand side for Milenkovic. Sat very deep at the moment, Midtjylland. Milenkovic looks to hook it over the top. Great ball for Hudson-Odoi, who gets there with the first touch. He's onside as well. On the right-hand side of the penalty area. He plays it back for Hutchinson, who's going to have a drive at back. And he cuts inside and he beats him as well. Then goes onto his right foot. Still going to Hutchinson. Looks across the face. A goal. He's off balance. And he's crossed his paw and goes over the top for a goal kick.
The defenders were so careful there, Kieran, not to foul him. I think he was desperate for a bit of contact to Mario Hutchinson, but they stood their ground. I mean, they let him through, but they didn't foul him. And in the end, that swing of the right boot, not good enough, over the bar and out of play. Yeah,
as you've seen it again, he's just off balance, isn't he? In the end, no real complaints. He went down. I think he was frustrated with a few players as well, or maybe even the referee. 22 shots for Forest to Midtjylland 6. It's not felt like Forest have had that many shots, has it? Because that is a lot at this stage of the game. As we now see Hudson-Odoi turns away from his man, still going. He's been quite busy since going to right back, hasn't he? But I think that's because he's been desperate to get back into attacking positions. We now see Billing goes across towards Zhao. He goes all the way back for Ehrlich, but they're having to apply the press. Nottingham Forest, they need something from this game, you feel. Long ball towards the right-hand side. Lee wins his header. Cho jumps up again. It's going to be intercepted by Biskov. Billing down the line. Goes towards Cho. Great strong challenge from Murillo. Too strong for him. And now we're going to see Morgan Gibbs-White carrying it forwards in towards Sangare. As we approach the 88th minute of this one. Still 1-0 to Midtjylland. It's going to be Sangare out to Hudson-Odoi, who finds Hutchinson. Back to Hudson-Odoi again. Really lovely play from Forest, but Hudson-Odoi's just not got the energy to outpace Bravo. He's done perfect as Bravo this game. We've not had to say his name that much. He's gone about his job quietly, but he's been spot on.
Yeah, solid performance from the Colombian. He's just put himself about, done his business quietly, and he's been one of the cogs that have been key to Midtjylland being in front in this one. You do just wonder if this is actually the best result in the long term for Nottingham Forest, to be knocked out at this stage, to not get their hopes up of, keeping going, given their situation in the Premier League. You just wonder if being knocked out is better for them.
Yes, you now see the ball with Ure, plays it down the line, intercepted away by Murillo. You can tell he's getting desperate for something because he's just gone ball chasing for a little bit, hasn't he? Murillo just charging away, back with the throw. He's taking his time. Vitor Pereira watching on just behind him, or a little bit beyond. Doesn't look best pleased, and he's rarely been pleased since taking the job, apart from his first game in charge, which was against Fenerbahce in the playoff round. Back with the throw-in, throws it middle for Biskov, and then back plays it through the legs of Sangare, but it's only as far as Hutchinson. He's going to carry it forwards. He runs too long. What a great sliding challenge from Cho. Not once but twice. That's unfortunate for him, isn't it? He's been given a handball against him. I think it's because he couldn't really stop himself on the turf with the wet surface, but it was a great tackle initially.
Yeah, he's still smiling from his goal as well.
As we see Nico Williams goes towards the left-hand side. Anderson finds Bakwa, who we've not seen too much since coming on. I always think he's a little bit better off the right, especially from his time at Strasbourg, but he's off the left so far. Now it's Murillo. driving forwards. There's a bit of space on the left-hand side if he can find it. He does. Nico Williams cuts inside onto his right foot. He thought about crossing it in. He doesn't. Elliot Anderson looks for the return pass. Biskov with the interception. He's been outstanding since he came on.
Yeah, he has, absolutely. I think Billing as well for Midtjylland has been so solid, as has Olofsson, the goalkeeper.
You're going to see a long ball down the right-hand side. Well, we've hit the 90th minute of this one. I can't imagine we're going to get a silly amount of added time. 5 minutes probably sounds about right. Sells gives it in towards Milankovic, who's going to carry it forwards. Of course, he was brought on in the 9th minute of this game, which probably tells us they were planning on resting him today, but he doesn't get that rest. Good challenge in from back on Hutchinson, who's limping away now. As we now see Murillo to the left-hand side for Williams. He then finds Bakwa. Bakwa in possession. He's going to have a drive at Lee. And it's still Bakwa driving forwards again. He comes in wedgy, he passes it straight into the referee. The referee gets in the way. He takes a stoppage in play to allow them to get the ball back. As just wait for this to be retaken. The free kick, as it's now with Bakwa once more. Bakwa goes all the way across towards Murillo. Now it's going to be with Sangare, who finds Gibbs White into the penalty area, well blocked away. Now it's Nico Williams. He whips it in. It's completely overhit. When you've got an absolute giant in the box, you've got to find it on the money. That's great play from Ure as well. The striker tracking back. He just kicks it off Hudson-Odoi to win a goal kick, and precious time for his side. Yeah, they're all working so hard. I think that the Midtjylland manager, Mike Tulberg, has made some really smart changes. Of course, Cho off the bench, he's got the goal. Ure's worked hard. Biscop's caused problems. He's had a couple of efforts, which one of them was, of course, well denied. Yeah, they've made really good changes, the visitors, and I think over the course of things, they've more than justified at least getting a draw. Yeah, as you now see the ball down the line for Hutchinson. Sorensen's going to clear his lines. They've been spot on defensively, haven't they, at times? Midtjylland, I think they've been really good in midfield. Like we said, the three midfielders today in Biskov, who came on at half-time. I don't think we were that impressed with Castillo, were we, in the first half? But Bravo and Billing all being outstanding at just helping that defence withstand the pressure. Here's Murillo, 92 minutes on the clock. 3 minutes remaining in this one. Ball out towards Bakwa. He's going to have a drive at his man. Checks back once again. Bakwa still going. Cuts into the penalty area. Shows way too much to the opposition. And it's cleared away only as far as Milankovic. It's going to be with Murillo, who finds Nico Williams again out wide. Williams whips in. That's a better ball towards Luca, who wins his header. It's a tame one, straight into the hands of the goalkeeper. Yeah, again, they've brought him on, Kieran, and not really played to his strengths. Lorenzo Luca, Igor Jesus was quiet, but I mean, at least he was seeing a little bit more of the ball. That ball is moving away from goal as Luca heads it. And it's a tame header, as you mentioned. Elsewhere, by the way, Crystal Palace have drawn 0-0 against Larnaca, so for the second time in the competition, the Conference League this season, they haven't been able to beat AEK Larnaca, but at least it's not a defeat on this occasion. Ooh, that's got to be a high boot. How is that not a high boot from Sangare? The referee waves play to continue. It's also a man down holding his head, and the referee's not stopping play. Here comes Billing on the attack. I don't know what on earth the referee's doing here. Why is he not stopping him? He's even just had a glance at him. The player's getting back up now. That was so odd from the referee. I mean, that was quite clearly a high boot, but play continues, and here comes Bakwa on the attack. He's having a drive at Lee. He whips it in. It's a dangerous ball, but once again, it's out swinging out of the penalty area. I believe there's going to be a free kick that goes the way of Midtjylland. There's going to be a yellow card. I bet he's running towards the Midtjylland. I bet he's running towards Midtjylland head coach, because they didn't get that free kick. He's currently talking to the fourth official. He makes his way all over there, and it is going to be manager Tulberg who gets booked. And I'm in complete agreement. He booted him in the head, and then the referee doesn't even stop play. Yeah, I think the referee thinks there's no contact here, and he's not buying it. But those aren't the rules, are they? If a player's got a head injury, you have to stop it, and he's not. And I mean, luckily for Midtjylland, they haven't paid the price by conceding. Yeah, it's Vitor Pereira watching on. I mean, at this stage when managers are on such bad form, I mean, Nottingham Forest, they can't sack him. They can't do it again. But, I mean, I was saying it last night. I mean, Tottenham have to sack their manager for me, again, at such a late stage of the season. I mean, they keep losing to Nottingham Forest, and we know what Marinakis is like.
I mean, maybe no manager is better at this stage. You don't have to. Forest don't need a fifth, and Spurs don't need a third. They just no one do it.
Leave it to the players.
Yeah.
As we've got 10 seconds remaining in this one, Milenkovic goes across to Murillo. It's now or never for Nottingham Forest. It's going to be a real bad result for them in their home leg to lose 1-0, and the full-time whistle has gone. What a result for Midtjylland, who do the job over Nottingham Forest. Again, a fantastic header from the substitute show in the 80th minute separates the two sides. The second leg will be a tasty affair next week. It finishes Nottingham Forest 0, Midtjylland 1. Thank you for joining.
Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match?